NCRP Productions presents the Muttinshire Chronicles, a Pugmire actual play podcast. Story 1, The Calling, Episode 1.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Pugmire. I am David, your guide, and I am very pleased and excited to be running this game today. We are going to quickly go around the table and introduce our canines, starting with Pedro.
Hey everybody, it's Pedro. I am playing Lucille, a Saluki who has the breed within the system of being called a runner, which really does kind of define a lot of what Lucille does. But Lucille doesn't just run for running's sake. So Lucille is a very free spirit dog. So she believes that, you know, I can really just explore the world and, like, really follow my own path and clear my head by running. When I'm running, my mind's clear, I can expand out and think about all manner of things. And so every morning, without fail, I'll get up same time, go for a run. Everyone around the village would know me and any of the other runners because anybody who wants to run with me, they can. But the only caveat is we run quiet. Nobody talks. You can't contemplate the world and what it means to be a dog or whatever we call ourselves. Do we call ourselves dogs?
You're dogs, yes.
Okay,
You know that you're
dogs.
dogs.
Okay.
Yes.
What it means to be a dog in the universe and life as a whole with talking. But the other thing is I've only run around this village, and I know that there's more of a world to run around, and maybe one day I'll just get to finally run past the binds of this village. One other thing, hate being told what to do. Hate being told what to do. Don't tell me what to do. I'll tend to do the opposite. I'm a good person. I'm a good dog.
All right, Lucille, stop talking for a moment.
Oh, it's gonna be like that.
Hey everyone, it's Barry. I am running Riggs Boxer. Riggs is a Fettles breed, and we tend to be hardy constitution. That's kind of our thing. We stand up to a lot of stuff, disease and that kind of thing. However, Riggs is a skeptic. Riggs really doesn't believe a whole lot of stuff is out there. I mean, just more of the same. Granted, I've never been outside the walls. More of the same, on and on and on. You know, it's just another day. You do it till you go down. And Riggs does have a respect for Bishop, though. Bishop is always eyes on the prize. I have no idea why, but I like that guy.
Hi, I'm Ryan, and I'm playing Bishop. He's an Australian Shepherd, and he's within the herder breed. And my main calling is that I like to protect others no matter the cost. And I always have to, because that's my thing.
Protect the herd. Protect the herd. Now, Bishop is for those that may not be familiar with breeds, is like a blue heeler, Queensland heeler, Australian cattle dog. I think a little different than Australian Shepherd, I think. Australian Shepherd is a little bit different breed. It's like the kind of Mad Max dog, you know, if you will, that herding dog.
He's a blue heeler.
He's a blue heeler, yes.
My name is Josh. I will be playing the St. Bernard Bosley, a working class dog. Bosley is the son of a pretty well-known search and rescue dog in the village, and search and rescues aren't really often required, so growing up, Bosley became kind of bored with his dad's job, and it was kind of forced on him all the time, and he developed sort of a tendency to shirk responsibility in those days, preferring to go out on a search and rescue and end up sleeping under a tree. When he was young, he developed a particular interest in his father's barrel canteen. It became so interested in it over time. His father started making fun of him, calling him the hooch pooch, because he wouldn't stay away from it, constantly sniffing and licking it. Well, when he was able to get his own barrel canteen, you know, that's more or less where he found himself spending his search and rescue operations.
And so what's his favorite content for the barrel? Gin?
Oh, no, yeah. We're doing whiskey. Yeah.
All right, nice.
The gentleman's
Single malt?
Yeah. Whiskey-holic. Bosley is a whiskey-holic, yeah.
12-week keg?
I mean, whatever.
12-week cask?
I don't know what we have available in the village, but I'm assuming that it's probably not that.
Well, and that's a great segue into welcome to Muttinshire, right? The village of Muttinshire is where you all live. You all were born here. You were raised as pups and played together, so you have a familiarity with each other as dogs. Muttinshire as a whole is comprised of about 60 dogs of all different types, kind of a melting pot of breeds, if you will. The general consensus of the village, if you will, is as long as you're a generally quote-unquote good dog and don't cause problems, you're accepted into the community. As long as you're willing to be some type of contributing member to society and not take away from, what they've built. There are dogs in the village that provide a certain service or role for the safety and security and progress of the village. And there are some that are just commoners that just hang out, right? And that's okay too. There's entertainers and different things like that. But generally, as long as you're a quote-unquote good dog, is what I'll use the term good dog moving forward, not causing problems, you're pretty much accepted into the town, right? And people in the dogs in the town, not people, rally around you to support you. It's a pretty good community, and you're a farming community. You live very close to a river where you fish and you grow crops. The land is fertile, and you trade with another nearby dog village called Doberton, which I'll get to shortly. So a couple other things you need to know about Muttinshire. You've got on the side of all the dogs that live in Muttinshire and are farmers and fishermen that you trade downriver to Doberton, there is a town elder that there's one religion that's followed in Muttinshire, and it is the religion of Idaho. For generations now, the following of Idaho has been a constant thing in Muttinshire. And the following of Idaho is basically laid down and kind of interpreted by an elder who's selected by the town. As one elder passes, he passes his knowledge to the successor and hands the collar over. The elder wears a old, revered, and relict collar that has the word Idaho on it, I-D-O. And you guys follow this deity of Idaho, and kind of generally, if you're religious, you follow the tenets of Idaho, or you just kind of, okay, cool, it's accepted. It's generally accepted in the town. The Code of Idaho consists of 3 edicts. The first one is never hurt a pup, ever. They are the heart of our progress and continued existence. Protect them from harm and nurture them to become admirable dogs. That is the #1 prime directive of Idaho, is never ever hurt a pup. The second one is know that the quote-unquote the masters once walked the earth or the world and lived to enslave dogs and use them to their own servitude, entertainment, and in sometimes, as stories be told, food. Never trust anyone that worships the code of the masters. And the third edict of Idaho is to live is to breed. To breed is to beg. Or to brag, I'm sorry. To breed is to brag. Right?
Please breed with me.
Sow your seed and reap the fruits of the lamentation of our mother dogs.
Say that last part again?
Sow your seed and reap the fruits of the lamentations of our mother dogs. So the more breeding you do, the more bragging rights you have. Because typically dogs, they don't choose like, hey, cool, yeah, I'll hit that. Yeah, I'll hit that too. Hey, And so to breed is to brag. Like, yeah, So those are the 3 edicts under which if you can live within those confines of Idaho's will, what's been shared and taught to you ever since you were a pup, that this is really, if you can live within these strictures, you're what's known as a good dog. All right. So downriver, less than a day's raft ride downriver is a civilization or a small village, a little bit bigger than yours, about 100 dogs in population, of all Dobermans. It's called Doberton, right? They're a fairly militaristic and very rigid and structured society, and they trade with Muttinshire for food. The one thing that Doberton has to its advantage that Muttinshire does not is they've learned the craftsmanship of making arms and armor. So while they drive a completely insanely unfair bargain to trade food for these wares, they do trade with Muttinshire. They're very what's the word for it? Prejudice would be hard, but they're very biased against other breeds. If you're not a Doberman, they see you as below them.
They're classists.
Right, they're classists, right? They're like, well, if not a Doberman, look at his ears, right? Look at his hair, right? That's funny, right? They believe that they are the ultimate breed, and that if there were more of them, then the world would be a better place. But they understand that the dogs of Muttinshire exist And there's a value to that from them, in the fact that, well, the more food we get from Muttinshire, the less we have to go out and try and find. Now, as far as going outside the village, you guys have never been outside the village. You've always been taught that outside the village there are perils, things that exist. There are monsters, there are animals that would look to, prey on dogs. It's unsafe, is what is constantly being taught to you. So you're pretty much spent your lives now in your young adolescence. You're fully developed and grown as a dog, but you're in adolescent stage age-wise of each one of your breeds. One thing that goes on every 7 years, and I'm talking dog years, I'm talking seven years, real years, is called, there's an event, it's a sacred event, and it's called the Calling. And it's an event where teams of up to 6 dogs can compete to find the shrine of Idaho and recover its relics, and return to the village within a certain amount of time and ascend to one of a certain number of callings and become those, those dogs that practice those callings and those roles in the town, whether it be a guardian or a shepherd or an artisan or something like that. And it's commonly known that if you're fortunate enough to make it back, the dog doesn't choose the relics choose the dog. So that's where we begin our game in the town of Muttinshire, and all the hype and buzz around town coming up in 2 days' time is the Calling. And during that event, the teams that will compete in this will assemble, at the docks, at the river docks, and be rafted up, separately upstream, a day's journey, and dropped off at an undisclosed location, and from there be set out with nothing more than what you have, the hair on your back, to try and find the Temple of Idaho and recover its relics and get back to Muttinshire within 3 days' time. Right, so that's where we begin. You guys, as youthful dogs, I would say, have decided that this is for you, for each one of your own personal agendas and how you see the world and what you want to achieve in your own individual goals. You feel that being a commoner is not enough. You feel the draw to want to be part of something bigger. And as you guys are sitting together, you're discussing whether this is a good idea or not.
So this isn't something all dogs of the town do.
No.
This is
No.
rare.
Because it's dangerous. We're leaving the village.
Yeah, it's not like a milestone thing. It's something only the bravest dogs do.
Right.
Okay.
So
where are we sitting currently?
You guys are currently sitting in town, and you're sitting around talking about, hey, are we going to do this or not?
Tavern, the local park.
Sure. There's a park. Right? There's a local park. Anywhere you guys decide, you guys are in town somewhere together, and you're discussing, trying to make a decision. Why should we do this? What are our motivations for doing this? And I want to, just take time so you guys could share with each other. Hey, and try and convince. Are we going to do this as a group? Share any motivations that you might have, any thoughts or concerns that you might have as this major event draws near.
Look, I know you guys think it's crazy, but we should just do it. What's the point? We just run over there, we get what we need, we find what we need, and we get back. It's fine.
Pretty sure it doesn't exist.
It has to exist. Why would they just send us out why would the elder just send us out to our death? No.
Well, I've spoken with Rover. He said he went out 7 years ago. That crap he's wearing, that could just be shoddy Doberman work. That's not something he found up in the temple.
I don't know, you guys.
He's a liar. You can't trust him.
Sounds like a lot of work. I mean, a calling is more responsibility and less time to do whatever we want to do.
But a calling is grand. We get to expand ourselves. Why can't we? Why don't you want to be more? Do you want to do more?
Doesn't a calling put a collar on you?
No.
Doesn't it tie your paws down to where you can only do one thing?
No, but not in that way. Then I can expand myself out from there. Sure, you might look at it like it puts a collar, but it only puts a collar on you if it lets you, or if you let it. That's more to it. Sometimes I think faster than my mouth can actually work. So, wait, 1 second, and I just run like 50 feet off, stop, look around, and then come right back. Sorry, I thought I saw something. So yeah, no, we should go. We should just go. Well, and the other thing is if you guys don't go, I'm still going. So, you know, I mean, if you want to let me go all by myself, I mean, that would be. I just wait 1 second, and then I run another 100 yards that way.
Hold on, wait.
Bishop, your feeling on this?
I'm gonna go.
You're gonna go? All right, then I'm in.
I come running back and I set a stick down. Okay, so yeah, so just okay. Who you guys decide while I was gone? We're all going.
We'll go.
We'll go. Perfect. Okay, excellent. Thank you.
I guess my dad'll chew my ass if I don't go. So
That's right.
So normally it's 6, but I just feel like maybe the 4 of us would be enough. You know, if there's really something there, and I don't think there is, and more stuff for us to bring back.
And I just like stand up and do like a little like stretching. Actually, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do some stretching because I just ran. You know, and we're so much more than the other contestants. I'm sure. You know, we're equal to at least a dog and a half apiece at minimum.
So have we heard yet? Do we all go up on the same raft? All the teams?
No, so the teams are sent upstream separately. Each team goes up by themselves. They're dropped off somewhere. Now, one of the things with the calling is there's like almost like an NDA, right? You're not allowed to talk about, you know, so the groups that have come back in the past, they've been forbidden on talking about where the shrine is, what they had to do to get there, right? Stories have evolved over time, but none of them have been confirmed, right? Because they know, and it's a general consensus, you don't do that, right? It would go against this tradition that you guys have, and it would question the stability of this process of ascending and becoming the type of dog that you're the calling that most dogs in town believe they were destined for. The reason why it's teams of up to 6 is because you know that it is common knowledge that there are 6 callings. All right, there are 6 different things that can come out of this. Doesn't mean you need to go up. You could go up as a solo dog. You're like, I've got this, right? And you might have, I know that I was destined to be a guardian, right? You know, you come back, why a shepherd? Why? You know, right? I was supposed to be a guardian and protect people in the field, you know, right? So you've seen those kinds of things happen, but there are 6 paths that can, you know, be delivered, you know, to you as dogs. Yes, each team goes up independently, and you don't know how many other teams there are, but there are no rules.
do we go armed?
I was like, wait, but there are no rules, and he asked, are we armed?
Well, good.
I wasn't thinking about your question, but
It's already Hunger Games.
Right. So, right. So, it's a great question. So you are taken up river and dropped off with nothing more than what you have on your back.
Wow.
You need to figure out a way to survive for 3 days. Now, you know, that's not to be told that, you know, I mean, there are no rules. Meaning, you know, it's, you know, stories have you know, there have been stories told where teams have gone up and not returned. And the stories start to, you know, circulate around the tables of like, well, you know what happened? Well, you know, this team ran into this team and they you know, they wiped each other out.
And
We're not pups anymore, so
we're not
it's
pups
okay.
anymore. There's competition. There's an
only one
instinctual
winning
competition that exists. There's one team that wins, right? And so one team that wins, that come back and become these take on these roles for the town. So it's a very prestigious thing, right? There's a lot of renown that comes along with it. But yes, you know, it's as Riggs was saying, you know, there's a lot of responsibility, you know, and not all dogs want that. You know, so it's a big decision to be made, and for you guys to decide, hey, yes, we're going to go do this. You know that you're taking on great risk, you know, of bodily harm, where you've never previously been in a situation where you've had to necessarily protect yourself. And the closest one's probably Bishop, who just his innate ability of like constantly watching. You know, you've seen fights break out, and you always interject, you know, and be like, hey, look, you know, you two break it up, kind of thing, right? It's just instilled in you, right? But outside that, you guys haven't ever really been in a fight. You know that the town has arms and equipment, but you've got to go to the master at arms to requisition those items, you know, and usually that comes with a host of questions and decisions that be made of why you need those kinds of things, you know.
Do we have a form of currency, or is it more on like a reputation?
No, everything you do is trade. It's all barter and trade.
Barter. Okay.
Yeah, there's
Barter
no
system.
currency.
Okay.
There's no money. Yeah. Yeah, it
So-
doesn't have a place between you and Doberton.
Do you think, or do we think that if we went to where all the weapons were, and we're like, hey, we're going out into the crazy world, will you give us any weapons that there's even a chance, or do we know that that's reserved for, like, town defense?
I don't even think it's worth doing. They probably won't give it to us.
So you know that it's pretty much there are guardians in the town. They know that those things are held for the defense of the town. The reason why you trade with Doberton for those items is in the event that anything were to try and overtake the town, including the Dobermans of Doberton, you could protect yourselves.
How far away is Doberton from us? Like a day's ride?
A day's raft down
South.
river. Yeah.
The opposite way we're going.
Opposite way.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll bring up the other thing. I'm pretty sure the world ends about 5 miles north, so we're not going to go that far. I mean, there's kind of a boundary.
You'll see. There's miles and plains for us to run around. I'm sure of it. There has to be more here. There has to be more places for us to run to.
Why?
Because there has to be. This can't be it.
How many trees do you need? Just find one and pee on it and settle down.
But why have one tree when you can have all the trees?
Familiarity, comfort, smell.
But that's
I know which one's my tree.
That's so boring, though. There's so much. There's so much to find.
Well, I think we're. I mean, again, Bishop's in. I'm in.
Now, as the four of you are there's a friendship, there's a camaraderie there because you guys have grown up together. But there are 2 other members of your friend group that you haven't been able to convince that this is a good idea and that they don't want any part of it. Right? They support you from the sidelines. Cool. We hope you come back. One of them is Cordell, who is a Brussels something. I forget his breed, but his name's he's a small dog. And he's a companion dog. And actually, he's he's a mutt. Sorry, he's a mutt, and his name's Cordell. And he seems to think that Cordell seems to think that it doesn't matter what topic of discussion is there. He knows that much more. You know what I mean? Always, it doesn't matter.
He's
but
guy.
You're like, you can't be everywhere at all times. But Cordell somehow is, right? Okay. Cordell thinks he's figured out the missing link to this like balance in life, right? And that most other dogs just can't rationalize it at his level, right? And then there's Delaquan. Delaquan is a companion dog. He's a Bichon Frise. And Delaquan is opinionated. You guys have learned that in order to present certain ideas and concepts to Delaquan, you've got to approach in a certain manner, or you're not going to capture his attention. Because, one, Delaquan believes that most things, even most things inside the village, can kill you. Right? And his number one priority is self-preservation.
See that? That'll kill you.
Right. That right there is dangerous. And let me tell you why. Okay, right? All right. He doesn't go anywhere near the river. He's like, you see how fast that's moving? You don't know how deep that is, right? You get in there for a drink, or you think it's fun to chase a stick down the river, you might get swept downstream with it. That'll never happen to me because I'll never go on the river, right? So that's kind of Delaquan's view on the world. But they are 2 good friends of yours that live in Muttinshire, and that you guys have kind of sought some counsel on regarding the calling. And they're like, hey, cool. Riggs is like, I don't need the calling. I've got this figured out. Or not Riggs, I'm sorry. Cordell is like, I got this figured out already. I don't need the calling. Why do I need the calling? I understand where my path leads. And Delaquan's like, are you crazy? You gonna do what? He's like, who's getting your stuff if you don't come back? And how long do I have before I can acquire your things?
In addition to that, I am completely exhausted with Cordell's thing of believing that there's an F on the beginning of the Edo collar. I don't believe it.
Now the word, Idaho, the worship, the deity Idaho. You guys, this was when we talk about the history of the collar, right? The collar represents a lot of things. It represents the town elder who, is kind of like the Pope, of the Catholic Church. You know what I mean? The members of Muttinshire look up to elder, and pretty much if they're bought into the religion, they believe what he's saying because they see that he's the receptacle, is interpreting the message that needs to be distributed from Idaho to you guys. Now, as far as there ever being an F on the collar, it's such a relic that, all kinds of things could, be the case. But as far as you guys know, Idaho's the one true God.
Well,
but it's also the only one.
Cordell's being ridiculous.
And you've never been presented with the idea that there may be a different deity, right? As certain aspects of life, when weather's bad and you start to think, well, there's a reason why we're being punished. It's because Idaho's unhappy with us. So, we got, you start to live these, certain part of the population starts to live this secular life where they're like, yeah, you know what, this life sucks, but if we do the right thing, we'll ascend, to the gates of Idaho, and be these dogs and eat treats all day and have our bellies rubbed, that kind of thing.
The other thing Cordell keeps talking about is going up to the kennels in the sky. That doesn't seem like it would be fun.
Love it.
So,
okay, yeah, go ahead.
So you guys, anything more that you guys want to talk about or do? So right now the calling, the event starts, you've got 20 or 48 hours before the event starts. You also know that tomorrow there is the Doberman from Doberton are coming to do a trade. You do a trade once every 90 days. You trade with the Dobermans, right? They're coming upstream this time. You guys alternate. Sometimes you go to them and trade. Sometimes they come to you. You guys grow different things, berries. You've got what type of thing is a stalk of corn? Has the kernels on it? What do you call that? It's like a cob. What was it? It's a things that have those pieces like that. What do you call that in?
Grains? No, I don't know what.
Yeah, I heard it's like a carnivorous type of thing or something, a conifer, or I don't know. Like trees that have like pine cones, for instance.
Okay.
Right? Is that a conifer?
I think that's right.
Yeah, I think it's a conifer, right? And because it's a conifer because those pine cones fall off.
What do I know? I have an 8-end.
Yeah, right. So
pretty sure that's right.
you grow something that's similar to corn, right? And that's also what
it's on a pine tree.
Right. What's grown on a bush? It grows on a bush, right? It's not like a stalk of corn. You don't have cornfields out in the woods, right? But you live in the woods close to a river. You're a 10-minute trot down to the river.
Yeah.
You got little trails and stuff.
Fish in the river? Like, do we ever fish the river?
Yes, you guys fish. So it's fish and this base. We'll just call it, for the lack of a better term, we'll call it corn, right? You basically grow dog corn, right?
All right, everybody, you heard it. We grow
Dog corn.
You guys should be manufacturers of carob. We make carob. But you make dog corn, right? And it's fairly there's some type of a nutritious. You think there's a nutritious value, but it's filling, right? And it seems to be fairly resilient to the elements. So when it rains a lot and so that, it seems to thrive, and the Dobermans like it. So. Yeah, they're coming up to get a bunch of this stuff tomorrow.
It doesn't grow where they're at.
Doesn't grow where they're at, right? And they don't grow it. They know that you guys are out here growing it, so they got this deal with you. We're like, hey man, we need some more, corn. You call it carn, right? It's not corn, it's carn, right? And they're going to show up tomorrow, and there's a big trade event going on, and then the following day the calling starts. So if there's nothing else that you guys want to do or look into. Okay.
There's something I want to do. And I'll tell you guys, hey, so I'm going to go out into the woods here in just a little bit. I'm going to go run around there, see if I can find some stuff maybe for the Doberman trade. Maybe get something for our trip out. If you guys can think of anything that you could make or trade, maybe they'll give us something. But that's where I'm going. So, anybody want to come?
Yeah, I'll go. Maybe we'll find something. Probably not. But
okay, keep up. Okay. And then I just bolt. I'm just gone.
So I got to drop to 4 legs I got to drop to all 4s to be able to keep up with you.
And I'm going at 2 first.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, cool, you're running fast. Awesome.
Oh, great.
And we just
So I'll shake my head, slowly start trotting behind him.
Now, you guys also know that I forgot to mention that the Village of Doberton is led by a very kind of unruly, very greedy Doberman named Horst. Oh, yes, and I have a picture of the Doberman.
What'd you call dog corn?
Who?
Carn.
Yes,
Carn.
dog corn. It's called carn. You guys call it carn, right? Yeah, that's a picture of Horst, all right? So, and they lead the way they're that the way their society is completely like polar opposite you guys. Their acceptance and status is identified through strength, right?
It's Sparta.
Basically, the leader of Doberton is elected once the current leader becomes weak enough to be challenged. The other one steps up, overthrows, boom. So yeah, that's the way it works. But you guys don't live that way. You don't see that in the following of Idaho. You don't see that as like, yeah, we like to breed and stuff like that, but we're
Worship
not trying
strength is not in the A's.
Right, it's not. Yeah, you're not warlike. You've never had anyone try and invade the village, or never heard stories about that, and that sounds terrible. So that sounds terrible.
God, that sounds awful.
Yeah. So, and there in Muttinshire there are no Dobermans, right? So
not even miniature pinchers.
yeah, you haven't seen one. You know,
No
like,
min pins even.
so you're understanding that Dobermans come from that place down south, that other city, that other town, to the south. That's where Dobermans come from, right? You won't be a Doberman unless you were born there. And if anyone says otherwise, they're lying.
What are their opinions on mini pins? I mean, like, it feels like that would be something they wouldn't tolerate, like.
Well,
We've never seen one,
Right.
so
You'll have to ask them if you decide to approach and say, "How do you feel about the the little people?"
oh my gosh.
Min pins.
Yeah. And by no means do I mean in any kind of offense to the small people of the world. Strictly talking dogs. So
This is a fantasy world.
right. So Lucille was like, "I'm going out to gather up supplies," and I'm like, that there's a big formal trade that goes on, but with the Dobermans come a lot of people, and they're like, hey, trying to do side deals, and they got their side hustles going on, and they're trying to do those kinds of things as well.
Normally Cordell has a grow, but for some reason it didn't go off this time. We're not going to have that as an extra, so we got to find something.
All right. He's got his own personal Karn grow. He's like, I've got this.
We'll call it Karn.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the main. All right, the main crop, right? All right.
All right. Yeah. So I head off into the.
Okay, so now the familiarity of the outline. So you've got your village, which spans probably it's entirely like quarter-mile across kind of thing. So you also know that you could probably go you're familiar with about another quarter-mile outside of the confines. So you're about a half-mile radius is where your world pretty much exists. So anything past that is like, ooh, you're going in, you're crossing over the threshold into the uncharted lands, and you can feel the stress level increases.
The stress level.
Yeah, right. So now, when you say you're going to go out and look for things, tell me about? And is anyone going with Lucille?
Oh yeah.
So one, I imagine hunting for smaller creatures that I might be able to. Do we keep pets? Actually, does anybody keep pets?
No,
I didn't think so.
Yeah, you don't domesticate other animals. It doesn't.
I don't know.
They're like, I'm bigger.
Why do we have a handle animal then?
Because it's your ability to
deal with them.
Deal with
All right,
other
so
dogs
we
and other animals.
have draft horses,
You
or
don't-
horses, or
You don't.
cattle, or
You don't
oxen?
necessarily. You don't domesticate them. No.
Okay.
Yeah, all your plowing and stuff is done by hand and pulled by other dogs.
It's done by paw, really?
Yeah.
Yuck.
Okay.
Well,
So
there's a reason to get the collar.
so then.
I'm not plowing another field.
So I imagine my guy outdoorsy, but maybe actually I think I'm reaching too much. So what I'm going to be looking for is good stones, because I'm thinking about what the Dobermans might want. Good sticks, like sticks that are like pristine, like, hey, this could be some kind of stabby thing.
A handle.
Yeah, a handle.
Okay.
So like good sticks or good rocks that they might be able to fashion into weapons. I'm like trying to think what they would want.
Now you've seen the stuff that the Dobermans produce. It's hammered, armor smith weapons, smooth metal, worked metal, real steel, swords, those kinds of things.
Do they use bows and arrows though?
They do.
Then I will be looking for sticks for that specifically.
All right.
And then if I know of any plants that would make good bowstrings, I don't know. Like, this is my character, like, thinking, what would they need? I've seen them in doing stuff, but I have no weapons training.
I'll look for feathers,
So-
fletching.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, if we're discussing, like, okay, you look for
Okay.
feathers, I'll look for sticks.
Yep.
So Riggs and Lucille are going out together. Bosley staying in town?
Bosley is reluctantly plodding along behind him, but he doesn't intend to keep up with Lucille, so he's just kind of keeping his nose down, trying to follow her scent at his own pace.
Okay.
Is Bishop really going to let us go out in the
And what's
woods
Bishop
alone?
doing?
Bishop's going to go look for medicinal plants
Okay. All right.
Nice.
by smell, sight, observing.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Cornell's out there like, not this.
All right. All right.
This is medicinal for another thing.
Cordell and Delaquan, they pretty much stayed in town, and the idea of you guys going out and like foraging and rummaging for stuff, they're like, yeah, they pretty much like, hey, look, we're friends and stuff, but we can't follow you down this path. You guys are gonna have to, you're gonna have to give us the play-by-play when you get back.
Companion leaves your team.
So Bishop, so you're going to go out and you're going to do some exploring. So what you're going to do is you're going to give me a survival roll. So you're going to roll a d20, and your target number is a 10, right? What you're looking for are like these plants that you think they might be worth something to the Dobermans from Doberton. And then you are proficient in survival, so you get to add your proficiency bonus, which is +2 to the roll. 13, all right. So 13, in your searches, you're actually able to find a mint leaf that is used in certain teas and certain medicinal salves. You know, they're ground up to relieve certain, ailments, soreness, things like that. This mint leaf is definitely has a value in trade. It's not going to be something that is so highly regarded as like a cure, a homeopathic kind of cure for certain things, but it's used in a lot of things, predominantly cooking recipes and teas. So you're able to find some of this, and you're able to grab gather up a bushel of it, that you think you might be able to get something for. So you can write that down on your sheet. You got this, just write down bushel of mint leaf. And now, so with this mint leaf that you're able to gather, are you keeping it to yourself? Or are you bringing it back and you're going, look what I found? Is it common, or are you going to kind of keep it stashed away? Everyone has a rucksack, what we're calling, is basically your bag.
So, like, are they smell proof, or would we smell?
The rucksacks aren't smell proof. No, you could be like,
because we're dogs. Like,
what is
you're not getting away with a bundle of mint.
As you prune the mint leaf, it's aromatic for sure. And it's like I said,
I'm going to stash it to share for later.
Okay, so you're going to stash for later. Like, well, look what I got. All right, cool. All right. So the other three of you go out. So the way group rolls work, so you guys can make individual rolls, or you can make a group roll. And let me look at the group roll. Everyone that has survived, what you all do, get to let's see.
Contribute.
Yeah, contribute. You have a question, Pedro?
Oh, I was just curious. How is Doberton? Would you say is a city?
Doberton. Yes. Doberton is another village similar to yours, a little bit bigger. They're about 100 dogs deep in population, where you guys are about 60 dogs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So everyone has a rucksack, is what they call it. The way group rolls work is, if it's just two people working together, you both have to have the skill, and whoever has the highest modifier would make the roll at advantage. If you guys have the same modifier, you guys would decide who's going to make the roll at advantage. If more than two people are making the roll, everyone makes the roll, and if more than half of the people rolling are successful, then they succeed.
Got it.
Okay.
Not at advantage, though.
Not at advantage, right? Everyone in the group makes their requisite ability check. If at least half, not more than half, but at least half of the group succeeds, the whole group is considered to have succeeded at the check. Otherwise, the whole group fails.
All right. What's the operative skill bonus for
survival? So survival is...
Should be under wisdom.
Yeah, I think it's wisdom, yes. You were right. Wisdom.
And then what's handle animal under?
Animal handle is... What does it say on that sheet?
Charisma.
There you go.
Handle animal...
Is charisma?
That's a guess. I don't know.
No. Handle animal should be under... I think it's under wisdom also.
Let me see.
Right.
Handle animal. Oops. That's not it.
Honestly, not a lot of my 5e players use it as much as you do.
Yeah. It's funny. Handle animal.
Yeah.
Skills. Here we go. Handle animal is wisdom. Same thing with survive. So they're both wisdom.
So if I were to help the pair, we would need to all three roll. Two of us would have to succeed. But if I don't help the pair, then only one person would roll and would get advantage, and we would need to succeed. So it seems like I would probably do better just sitting under a tree.
And it's a scale thing. So the higher level of success you guys get, the more valuable of a commodity that you may discover.
So my wisdom is +2.
Mine's +1.
Okay.
Right,
So then I roll with advantage.
So you're going to roll with advantage?
Yeah.
It's because just the two of you.
Yeah, I'm
Bosley's sitting out.
I'm sniffing around under a tree to find a good spot.
Bosley's drunk.
All right.
Well, not yet.
21.
21.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm telling you, I am booking it through these.
There's
orders.
some.
Okay.
So
wow,
the
21.
thing that I looked up with Salukis is they hunt. They were four nomadic tribes to hunt, and they hunted more with sight rather than smell.
Huh.
So I'm just bolting through the woods, eyes going around, just looking for anything useful.
All right.
Sharp sticks, long sticks, perfect sticks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with the 21, as you're kind of darting through and kind of jumping through the bushes and like quickly kind of going from place to place, and you smell something. It smells It smells like feral meat or something. Yeah, like you've smelled meat gone bad before, where you're like, oh, I don't eat that. It didn't smell good, right? This smells like maybe meat that's gone bad. You know, it was prepared way wrong. You can smell it kind of coming off in the distance. You're like, you catch a scent that you can then follow.
Okay. So I'm just gonna catch that scent and then follow it as quickly as I can.
Okay.
Where are we going? Where are we going?
It depends. Is he keeping up with me?
Is he?
Well, if you're on 4 legs, no. If you're still upright, then yeah, I'm just barely keeping up.
You know, this is what would happen. So as we're going through, I'll stay on 2 because you are slower.
Actually, the
than
other
me.
option is if you're like the normal dog, you run left, right, left, right, left, right, and as I run straight, I basically keep up with you.
Yeah. Once I catch this smell, I say, "There's something strange over there," and I get on all 4s and then just.
Like, do we still have, like, reason to bark at one another for things like, hey, you guys come over here? Like, we would just have a bark for that, like, you know,
so,
like, everybody would know. It wasn't like, you know.
What I was going to do is when I get there, if nobody was around, if they didn't see where I went, I was going to let out, like a hey, come over here, pal, or like a don't come over here, depending on what I find.
So as you pick up the scent, right, and you start following it, it leads you to the edge of the known world as you know it, right, where it brings you to that threshold of like it's coming from deeper in the woods. You can smell it, and you're like, but it goes in there.
So I'll howl to everybody, like, come over here, I found something.
Okay.
So I will respond.
As you guys kind of gather, you're at the edge of like what you know to be the safe zone, and that you've been warned.
Like I told you guys, pretty much ends a couple miles farther up north, then it's just done.
Now going any further, you go into this dangerous space where you've been told it's very dangerous out there.
Guys, I've come to this line a lot. I know where the line is. I run it all the time, but I've never gone past. But I'm feeling like going past might be an interesting.
I feel like it shouldn't.
Well, there's something strange. There's something dead this way. But
It smells bad.
And as you guys, as she starts to say it, you're like, yeah, you start smelling. You're like, something does. You smell it. You all smell it. And you're like, oh, there is something.
I think I'm gonna go check it out.
I don't think the Dobermans would want that.
Well, we're not in the Doberman area.
Well,
it's not like they would.
Well, that's what we're out here for, right? I mean,
Yeah, but this is something. This is something interesting. Maybe there's something with it. It doesn't just smell like a regular dead squirrel or something like that.
Doesn't smell like Karn.
It's not Karn. I know that, but if you guys don't want to go, that's fine. I'll go. If you want to just stay here, and if I get in trouble, I can yell for you.
No, I'm gonna come. You get in trouble, we'll never catch up.
no bother. Let's go.
Okay, here. I can go first though if you guys want. I can scout ahead. I'm quick. You know that.
That's
and I like
always going to
hopping.
happen anyway, Lucy.
That's true. And just go.
So now what was Riggs's flaw?
Mine?
Yeah,
Mine's the skeptic.
you're the skeptic.
That's what I'm
But in what instances do you need to make a saving throw?
Oh, initiatives.
No, that's the negative. But when do you need to make the saving throws?
When I'm trying to make an initiative.
Oh, when you're making an initiative, right? Okay, cool. And then Bosley,
Yes.
you got
during moments of stress.
During moments of stress, huh?
Yeah, I probably had a couple nips back at the bar, and then maybe when I
So-
was sitting in the tree waiting on them to search. And
So
then,
at the idea of crossing over into the forbidden lands, not forbidden so much, but you know
Okay,
that
yeah,
you
that's
are
kinda
you are
stressful.
putting yourself in harm's way for sure. You're convinced. You're gonna go ahead and make a saving throw.
16, 17.
Okay, so you made it. You're
Oh.
feeling the
I forgot the auto fail treat
you know,
thing.
you're forgetting, you're feeling that the stress kind of well up in you a little bit. You're like,
Oh,
you got a
boy.
bad feeling about this, but you're keeping yourself together. You're not like pulling the cork on the barrel yet.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys follow the scent. You guys follow the scent for probably another, eighth of a mile, right? And what you see ahead is there's a heap of meat or something, looks like meat, that is maybe decomposed. You don't see bones. There's just a pile of something in the path, but sticking out of one end of it, it looks like a riveted looking horn. Maybe it looks like some type of horn. It's pointy at the end. It looks like
a
bone,
dead
and it's got
unicorn.
little nubs all over it.
I go up to it. I say, "What's that?" And I pick it up and I grab it.
I wouldn't do that.
So as you go to grab it, it kind of breaks free out of this pile of stuff. There's leaves and things, and you can see that there's like little bugs crawling over this heap of something. And as you pull it, it resists at first and kind of pops free. and you've got in your hand, you've got this antler, you know, this piece of antler.
I lean in and smell it right while he's holding it. I want to smell it as much as I can.
Okay, give me a survival roll.
Oh, I'm gonna.
Anyone investigating or smelling it in any way can give me a survival roll to see if you might recognize it.
13.
13, okay.
Pretty sure it's
Counting
not the
proficiency
smell.
bonus.
Natural 1. I'm too excited. I'm just like, this is
Hey guys!
I found something.
Okay, you got a 4. All right. So with your 1, you know, you're like, look at this, and you fumble it and drop it, you know, and it falls on the ground. You know, where
I just
Riggs,
go sit
you
down with
like
it.
then sniff it and you're like, yep, nope, I don't know. You know, you don't know what it is, right? But you're like, yeah, you're questioning it. You're like, yeah, I think this is you know, you think it's some type of woodland beast that had horns. It's an antler. You're sure it's like it's horned, but it's bone. It's like you're pretty sure it
Like,
could
are we
probably be
familiar-
fashioned in into some type of weapon if you wanted it to.
Are we familiar with deer? Do they come close enough to the
No,
village?
you guys don't eat deer. You basically live on carn and fish.
I don't know what this is, guys, but look, it's sharp. It stabbed whatever's in there. I mean, hey, this could be something interesting they might want to trade for.
Or maybe
Or if it's sticking out, it stabs something inside.
What? Wasn't it stuck into the pile? Like
So it's sticking out. So the
Oh,
point
it
of
was
it was sticking
sticking
out. So
out.
you went to grab it and it like popped free.
I thought it was stabbed in.
Oh no.
Well,
Oh,
I
okay.
hate to say this, guys, but what if it was a horned dog or some other kind of creature out
I've
here?
never heard of a horned dog.
Well, wait, what's in the pile? And
You know stories that there are woodland creatures that other creatures feed on, but you guys pretty much live on a diet of carn and fish, you know, and it pretty much sustains you guys. Other than that, within your, you know, half-mile radius of the village, you know, there are different herbs and different things that you guys grow,
It's a horned
you know, that you
landfish.
basically live on, and like that's pretty much your diet. You
How
know,
bad does the pile smell?
it smells feral.
I'm rolling in it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Pretty sure this is a good idea.
It starts to. Yeah.
I don't have many good ideas, but this is one of them.
All right. So you start to roll in it, and as Riggs starts to roll in it, the pile of meat, if you will, starts to break up a little bit. Now the smell becomes really strong.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
Yeah. Right.
This is the right.
Very
I knew
pungent.
there was something bad
Very
in here.
pungent. You're like, oh, almost to a point where you know it's like, okay, this is not cool. You cannot go back to town smelling like this. All right. So
What do you guys think?
I'm all for a good bad smell, but honestly, Riggs, this is a bad smell. This is a bad smell.
Yeah, right. You know, everyone will like it, right?
I don't particularly like it. I don't hate it.
It's not a pleasant smell, right? But now you see Riggs's. Yeah, he's got chunks of this like in his hair,
Yep.
you know, and it's like, you know, piece of it hanging off his lip. He's like, hey, how do I look?
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Well, anyway, we found something cool, and worst case, if we can't trade for it, well, I mean, it's kind of stabby, and I'll like kind of.
So you're gonna take the antler?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm taking. I was like, yeah. I mean, it's something.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
Probably the only one out here.
All right, so you can write down stag antler. All right.
There's probably nothing more like this anywhere. This might have been the last one.
And you rolled in it?
Well, I didn't roll in the horn.
Well, actually, that's kind of interesting. If you rolled in the last one that's there,
Right? Exactly.
wow. You know what?
I
I'm
think
sorry
everyone's
for
gonna
before.
appreciate this.
Who am I to say to tell you what you can and can't do?
Yeah.
Good for you rolling in
Right.
that. In fact, anybody who wants to roll in this, go for it. I'm not gonna, but feel free.
I'm gonna
I don't
right
know.
at Bosley.
Yeah.
I'll pass.
I give him the look.
I'll pass.
It
1,000-mile stare.
Thanks,
just smells
Rick.
rotten to you. You're like, these
Thanks,
guys
but no
don't realize
thanks.
that it just smells rotten, right?
Yeah, I have a particularly strong nose, I think, compared to other dogs. So
Yeah, because of your alcohol consumption, right?
Oh,
you're
yeah.
sensitive. yeah. Blood vessels are close to the skin, although you can't see it behind the hair.
Well, I mean, this is
Nose
probably
is always dry.
the coolest find we could make here. So maybe we should head back and get prepared. We should probably rest up too.
yeah, I definitely probably won't get any better than this.
No, this was a really good find. Good job, guys. I'll hold on to it for now, and we'll see what they can give us tomorrow.
You've got it's about an 8-inch long piece of antler, and it's got these little like brown kind of nubs all around it.
Is it common for us to do high fours?
Good. Smack.
All right, guys. High fours. Ooh, and Lucille.
Bam.
Right. So you guys head back to town.
Yep. We'll head.
And where you're gonna meet up with Riggs, you know. And
The Riggs is already
Bishop.
here. We're going to meet up with
I'm
Bishop
sorry,
also.
Bishop, and I'm running around the table.
You missed
wherever
out. I
you're
don't
at.
know. I don't know how you did that.
Look what I found.
It's from a horned dog.
Yeah, and he rolled in whatever it was.
Do I smell
If you
good?
want to know what
So
it is, it smells.
I can smell the smell.
Yeah, as you
of
come
rot.
into town, people are like looking at you like.
I'm proud. I'm puffed up.
Other dogs will run up to you and be like,
Exactly.
well, you know, kind of wander off, you know, and, you know, nobody's saying anything to you, but it's like, you know, what's going on here, right? That does not smell cool. What is that all over him, dude? What's he doing, right? He's walking around all proud about it.
So we get into Bishop. Do I smell mint?
So, you know, you don't smell mint because the smell that you know, the matter that you're covered in is more overpowering. So the only one that knows that Bishop's got the mint is Bishop. Yeah. And you're going to smell this as they all walk in. You see that Riggs is covered in some type of... It almost... Give me a survival roll.
We're all acclimated to him by now.
14.
14. It smells like he's rolled in rotten meat. Yeah. But he apparently, obviously, not quite sure that it doesn't seem to be obvious that he knows that's what it was. All right, cool. He seems to be proud of it.
Riggs, go bathe yourself.
Say what?
He's telling you to go bathe.
Jump in the river.
But
I worked hard for this.
exactly, I'm covered.
Now, this time of year,
I'm in the clear.
the river levels are fairly high. So, you know, jumping into the river, you have to be cautious. It's not winter, you know, but it is spring, and the thaws, you know, the runoffs are raising the river level.
Tell you what, Delaquan goes with me. I'll go hop in the river.
You know that's not going to happen.
Right.
Go take a dirt bath.
That's a good idea.
Well,
I'll go roll in the center of town where the big pile of dirt is.
Right. It's like a, you know, there's a there are areas of town where there's like basically the dirt has been ground down to like a fine sand.
Right, exactly.
You know, and where dogs are like, you know, and there are stumps that, you know, they use to, you know, I gotta get a scratch here, you know, but for the most part, I mean, you walk upright most of the time, so, you know, there are things that you can use to, you know, scratch your back and, you know, things, rub your belly and things like that. You know, hey,
I don't have the money to go into the Weimaraner bathhouse, but...
Right, true. All right, so, what's more of interest, more so than the feral meat smell of Riggs, is go ahead and give me another survival roll to see if you recognize what this is.
Did Lucille show it off?
Yeah, so didn't you say Lucille brought the antler out, right? And said, look what I found, right? Pedro?
Lucille?
Yeah.
Okay.
I brought it out so you can see it.
24? Yeah, you're like, you know...
He's proud of it.
So
Yeah.
So you don't... Now, whether you share it openly or not, you have wandered out past the borders
share it
of
openly.
the town, and you've seen things, right? As is your nature to try and understand what might be a potential threat to the town and what might not be. You have wandered past the fence line, if you will, quote unquote, and have seen the remains of animals, things like that. So when you see the antler that Lucille pulls out, you know almost immediately what it is, and you know that those are that's a woodland beast that other creatures feed on. Right. You've never actually had the meat yourself, but you're starting to put one and one together. Riggs is rolled in a dead animal, woodland animal. You know it to be a stag or a deer or some type of of that type of nature.
You've been out a bunch. You always tell us about it. Do you know what this is?
It's a stag that was eaten.
I think you've told us about stags. What are stags again?
Some kind of woodland creature.
Hey, there are woodland beasts that other creatures feed upon.
Oh, interesting. Well, cool. So I found its weapon.
What's left of it?
Yeah, or I guess I would say it's claw, right? It's claw.
You know that they have horns. You've seen them. You've seen live
It's a
ones
horn.
before.
It's a horn.
I knew it.
This goes on their head. I pulled this off of something's head.
Because you start to think back when you grabbed it. At first there was resistance, and then it broke free, and you're like, oh. And now you're starting to think, wow, okay.
Oh. Well, I'm not gonna think too hard on that. It's already free from this life, so it doesn't need this anymore. And I'm just gonna kind of look at it from there.
Should we try to wear it on our head? Maybe.
I don't know where it would go, and I'll does it go here in the center?
Does it
I guess if I push my ears up a little bit and wrap it around, no, it's not gonna stay.
Does it still have velvet on it?
No, does not have the velvet on.
Okay.
It's not blunt. It's sharp.
Yep.
No.
Say, oh well. Well, regardless, maybe the dogs from Doberton will want this.
Maybe.
It's interesting. It's really pretty.
It would fit their heads better, probably.
Probably.
Could I make some kind of wisdom to see if they will want it?
Go ahead and give me a wisdom check. So it's going to be a d20 roll plus your wisdom modifier.
5.
A 5? As you start to think about this, you realize that you don't know whether this will be something of value to the Doberman of Doberton or not, but you think you might know who might know. And that would be Delaquan.
Let's go ask Delaquan.
Delaquan? Okay, wait, he was at home, or he was hiding, right?
No, he's at state. He's at
They
home.
might still.
That's what I mean. Because he said he's the cautious one, right?
Yeah, he takes copious amounts of naps, and under the confines of shade, and doesn't wander too far from the household because it's too far from the food.
Do you guys want to come with me, or do you want me to just run down there real quick and come back? I could probably do it really quick. It's just right down the road.
Where are we at right now? Are we just sort of in the middle of town?
Say it's probably in whatever the tavern.
Hey, you all
is.
have establishments. You basically all live with your parents.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Do we have let's say we have
We just got allowed into the tavern. So
Except for
every chance we meet-
Bishop, you live with your older brother. You know what I mean? No.
Let's we can say we have a little spot by the river that we always congregate at.
Okay.
There's a good
Love
scratch and post there.
All right, where you're away from the eyes of the public. Okay, so
Yeah.
hey, what you got there?
Yeah,
Because, other dogs are generally pretty curious about what is that? What's it smell like? Check it out. What's it taste like? That kind of thing.
Go see what he thinks.
And Delaquan pretty much stays in town always. It's like an act of Congress to try and get him to go. Hey, let's the thought of let's go.
I'll go with you.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna want to smell this.
You can find Delaquan at the inn quite often, right? Because that's where most of the food is. Primarily, a lot of times if he's not in the inn, he's around the back of the inn waiting for some type of handout.
Okay, so then so we'll run over there. I'll be the first one probably,
Okay.
and then wait for everybody.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Actually, probably run there. They're not coming in a couple seconds. Run back to them. Are you guys coming? Come on, and run back.
You must gather your party before venturing.
I just need to get it out.
Just run back. I'll meet you there. Hurry up. I'll meet you there.
I'll be there waiting.
Yeah, right.
It wasn't
Are
clear
you guys
from
coming?
before.
I'll be there.
Waiting.
Yeah, right. So the name of the local inn is called the Twisted Tail. Some dogs have a curved tail, and the reason why they call the tavern the Twisted Tail is because it is run by a working dog, a breed of an Akita. The Akita is the tavern owner, and he does most of the cooking. And his wife, who is a Shiba, actually Shiba Inu, actually does the serving of the drinks and things like that. But he does all his cooking in the kitchen, right?
Everything's fucking chow mein.
Right. That's all Chinese food.
Starts his ribs, ends his chow mein.
Yeah, right. So you go to the inn, and this is kind of a happening place where people will hang out. This is the nightlife here. This is where the stories are shared. Elder will frequent the place, and it's well known for its baked breads and corn pot pies. So you guys come in search of Delaquan. If you ask around, you don't see him when you go in, right? But the place is pretty busy, right? There's a hearth burning, it's warm. There's several dogs laying around in front of the fire, while others are like tables, things like that. Some are paw wrestling and different things. The paw wrestling isn't so much like you've got, in the world of Pugmire, you've got, not opposable thumbs, but you've got manipulative paws, right? So, but the Pugmire version of arm wrestling or the paw wrestling isn't the gripped hand, the over the top kind of thing. It's the pushing of the paw past a certain line or more, right? And so you see a lot of that going on. That's a common occurrence. As you scan the room, you don't see Delaquan.
Where is he? Where did he be?
Probably out back.
Oh, let's go. Here, I'll run out there real quick.
So as you run out back, you do actually see Delaquan in the back talking to the establishment owner. The establishment owner's name is Gary. Right, he just goes by the name of Gary the Akita. Right? and he's pleading. It looks, as you run up, it looks like he's pleading his case. Like, hey, look, I didn't start it. All right, he came at me. Right. So it sounds like Delaquan's maybe been removed from the establishment or asked to leave or something like that, and he's trying to plead his case. Like, hey, look, it wasn't me, man. And as he sees he runs up, he's like, here we go. Here's somebody who can vouch for me, man. Tell him. I don't cause trouble.
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, Delaquan's a good dog. What's going on?
There's all that basset hound in there, man. Approached me, man. Started making breed slurs and things like that. I mean, I'm not trying to cause trouble, but it wasn't me. I'm just defending myself.
Wait, Delaquan, somebody was mean to you?
Yeah. So you get that big floppy-eared son of a gun in there. You bring him out here and tell him I'm waiting.
Well, Delaquan, we need to ask you a few things. Could what's the name of the owner? Gary, could Delaquan come in just as one final time? And if anybody's gonna causing any trouble, we'll make sure it gets resolved. We won't cause any more. We'll talk it out.
So go ahead and give me a charisma roll. Try and convince Gary that it's a good idea.
This is not good for me.
Should have got the dirt out of your fluffy head.
Oh yeah, that's a 3.
Okay. Gary's like, I'm afraid that's not gonna happen.
Gary, what if?
Oh, good, they're here.
What if I was in control? Brought him in, and Bishop will be inside. We'll keep him under control.
Well, you got Bishop with you, then, okay, go and give me a persuasion roll at advantage this time.
Ooh, 18.
All right. He's like, well, you know what? If you got Bishop with you, Bishop leaves, you leave with him. Any problems, you're not going to like the outcome.
We won't cause any problems.
All right, my ears are up. Okay. So, all right. So he lets you in the back.
Yep.
Right, he's like, don't cause any trouble. He just shakes and said, no. Okay. All right.
All right, Delaquan, what happened?
Yeah, what happened?
And don't be giving us a story. I give him the eyes.
So, hey, man, it wasn't me. Yeah, I didn't start. It's the basset hound.
Yeah.
All right.
We know where any of those hounds is.
Yeah.
But
All right.
what happened?
Talking about my hair, right? Talking about, how I don't do anything. I'm not, contributing member of society, right? It's because I spend more time in the mirror than I do outside working the fields, right? Always getting the true dog down, right? Just because I'm small, my stature doesn't mean I don't have a big personality or a lot to offer. Okay, I got gifts.
I hear you.
Yeah, and you're not a menace to us. You don't do anything bad.
Of course, I'm not a menace. I'm an intelligent genius.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you're not harming the pack, why is anybody giving you trouble? We're all good dogs.
We've talked about this
Talking
before.
about grooming.
Hey, Lucille, grab some.
What do you think?
Grab some of that car pie and walk through the kitchen.
What? Do I have money? Like, do I have money that I can actually buy that?
No. There's not. No. Everything's trade.
Okay, so I would need
trade.
something for trade.
Typically, you would order it up front, and you would trade for like either goods and service. You might have something to trade, or you'd be like, "Hey, cool, come by and like help out," and they'd be like, "Cool, we got you, right?" But he's like, "Hey, grab some of that." Nobody's looking. Gary's the Gary.
Delaquan, no, I'm not stealing from Gary. Gary's a good guy.
Come on, man. I need a plate, man.
Yeah, well, you gotta. I'm sorry, Gary. You have to find some way to earn it. We all earn our keep here. And if you said you have special abilities, I know you're smart enough. You can do it, Gary. But I can't steal for you. I'm sorry.
He kind of looks down. You guys make it into the end. He's just like,
yeah.
And kind of mutts,
So you still haven't said anything. What do you think? And I lean my back towards his nose.
So, what's that smell?
Yeah, we got something cool.
Right, exactly.
All right, Gary, Delaquan. He's like, what the hell you rolling, man?
Oh, the best stuff.
Smells like you've been rolling in basset hound's feces.
No, we went north. It's better than that. We went north. We found a pile. I was the only one to roll in it.
Yeah, and I found this.
Brought it back.
He lets out like a loud snort. He's like, so Delaquan's got this big white, very very manicured, afro, and it kind of waves, and he does this snort. And he's like, man, you might want to wait outside, man. So you need.
Well, no, everybody needs to get a sniff of this.
Wait, what are you guys doing here?
That.
We want to show you.
At the horn.
We want to show you this. We found this on the pile that Riggs rolled in, and
what do you think? You think the Dobies would want one?
I think the Dobies would want one.
Of those?
He's all, put that away. Put that away.
What? Why? And I'll like put it into my cloak.
He's all, come on, we're going to my house, right?
Oh, okay.
Right.
Bye, Gary.
So so Delaquan is going to turn and go back through the back. He doesn't want no longer his industry going through the inn. He says, come on, and he hops down on all fours. And he starts to run, right? And he leads you back to where he lives with his parents. And he's like, Ma, Pa, he's got parents. He's like, the guys are going to stay over, right? And they're, so you get the proverbial greeting, and that kind of thing, Well, make sure you let your parents know. Right?
Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Delaquan.
Right, they're like,
no,
yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Bijan.
Bijan?
Bijan, yeah,
What?
Bijan, yeah. Mr. and Mrs. Freeze.
Delacroix the Bichon.
Yeah.
Oh, Delacroix the Bichon.
Delacroix the Bichon, right, yeah.
Hi, Mrs. Bichon.
Mrs. Bichon.
Yeah, right. So they're cool, you know, they're sitting in chairs, you know.
Lean into Lucille. You know, Mrs. Bichon's sure looking good these days.
You know, Mr. Bichon's like, what's that god-awful smell?
Right? Right?
That's Riggs. We found something in the woods, and he rolled in it.
It's what we do. And I'll walk past.
So
Now,
Ms.
I know where
Bichon's like,
Delacroix's
don't
room
get
is.
that on any of my furniture, right?
Why would I waste it?
You get to the back of the house, right? And Delacroix says, okay, let me see it.
Okay, and I'll pull it out.
And he's like, where'd you get this?
Well, like I said, we found it. It was outside of the
Town. It was outside of town.
It was outside of town. Yeah, but it was,
outside of town. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
outside of town, but it was also outside of the fence line or the border line.
I will drop my head.
Let me see that thing.
Okay, Bishop said it
He
was.
takes it, right? He takes it and he's like, he holds it up, right? He's like, right? He's looking at it, he's smelling it, right? And he throws it, right? And it kind of falls and clinks against the wall. He's like, must be some word or something to make it work. He's all,
What are you doing?
He's all, you know, the Doberman, they worship these things. They mean something. They mean something to them. But how did you find this?
Well, we just found it. I followed a really stinky smell. That smell, and well, it was just in a pile.
You need to get washed before you get us in trouble.
Like,
What are you talking about?
like they find these things.
Dobermans are going to be here tomorrow. You need to wash that off you. They catch you with that. Who knows? No telling what they're going to do.
We were using it for trade. For the calling. We
Yeah.
figure get some weapons, some armor, who knows what else.
He's all, well, I can tell you, I don't know how true it is, but I got reason to believe from a reliable source that Elder told me that the Dobermans, right? And I don't know if this is a tall tale or not, but Elder said that the Dobermans, Horst, has this bone that looks like that. That is the symbol of it's like the king's scepter. Right? You start waving that thing around, they might think that you stole it.
Oh, well, we found it.
Maybe he needs another
Well,
scepter.
you think you tell that to Dobermans and you tell them what we just found? You think they're gonna believe you? Huh? You think they're gonna believe a little skinny little dog like you?
Oh, maybe. Wait a minute. Why do I care what they think? Well, yeah, I mean, they will take it or not. What are they gonna do?
They'd kill you. All right.
Do I have reason to believe that they would actually kill him?
I don't believe
like,
it.
Remember, the Delacroix believes that everything in the world will kill you.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't believe it.
So I'm like going for it at first, and then I'm like, wait a minute.
That's what you think about everything.
These Dobermans, you've seen them, right? With their armor, and their weapons, right?
So this is a scepter.
They're
That's
warlocks.
what you're saying. This is a scepter.
Okay, so then
And it's
Well,
magic.
Horst, it's believed. The Elder told me that Horst has something that he described. It looks just like that, and that's what he uses. That's his symbol of authority.
well,
there.
should we go ask the elder if this is something bad?
That would be a bad idea.
Would the elder get mad
No,
at us
I
for
think.
like leaving?
I
the
think, and I'm
orders?
gonna look at Lucille directly and wink. I think we should just hide it for now.
Maybe the elder wants his own scepter.
Maybe.
No.
But I don't
No,
think he's
that
gonna
doesn't
want to
make
go
any
because he
sense.
wouldn't want to start any fights with the Doberman.
No. I think we just. I think we just keep it hidden.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. I guess. Well, thank you, Delacroix, for telling us. I mean, we don't want to get hurt. I'm like kind of noticing that Riggs is trying to get something across, but I'm more confused than anything because I just don't get it.
Okay. All right.
And so I'm like, yeah. So I guess we'll see you tomorrow. Will you be at the send off tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be there. Well, so tomorrow,
Tomorrow's
when you're
the
talking about tomorrow,
Oh,
tomorrow's
tomorrow's
the trade event.
Oh, I thought it was all
It's
the
the
same
next
day.
day.
It's not-
The next day is where the teams are getting sent upriver.
Oh, okay. So
Right.
will you be out and about during the trading?
Yeah, I'll be up around the trade event.
Oh,
I gotta check out some of the local tail that might be coming over.
Oh, yeah.
You really think you got a chance with Dobie Tail?
Maybe. Never had it, but I heard once you go Dobie, you never go back.
That's a little. Well, no. Wait, no. Ours is.
I
our
feel like
tenants
that's
to
not true, but
live and breed.
Yeah, we're supposed to be.
That's
We're supposed to be a little loosen the goose. So.
To breed is to brag. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna dip my wick tomorrow. Some of that Doberman tail.
I don't know if that's something to brag about.
It
is.
It's tenant number 3.
It is absolutely.
Yeah, of course, it's to breed is to brag.
We don't like
Bunch of promiscuous dogs.
I guess just doing. Actually, I guess that would be.
Speaking of which,
You know, the Delaquan is all about the ladies. About the ladies.
That's his. Yeah, that's his
It's his
number
thing,
one
dude.
secret weapon.
Yeah,
His
it's all
white
about the
throat.
numbers.
Secret weapon.
It's about the numbers. It's about quantity, not quality.
Charisma
Right.
is not his dump stat.
So I have a question for Delaquan,
Huh?
and I'll show everybody that I have the mint,
What you got
Oh,
there?
that smells good.
and
Man.
and
I
also
can't smell it. What is it?
Hard to smell it over Riggs, but hey, I can smell it.
something that smells better than you.
That's nice. That's nice. Let me have some of that. Matter of fact,
I want to know where I can get some special smoke plants.
special what?
You know what I'm talking about.
That's Cordell.
Yeah, that's Cordell.
Cordell's got them.
Yeah, you want the
Bishop, I'll come with you to see Cordell. He owes me.
Okay, all right, okay, all right. You want some of the tripweed, huh? Okay, all right, I got you. All right. Matter of fact, I would give you some out of my own personal stash, but I hate to run low, especially with the festivities on the horizon. So, yeah, you might want to check out Cordell on that number.
Okay.
Right, okay. But hey, why don't you leave some of that with me? That stuff, a little bit behind the ears, might help me out with the ladies.
This stuff
and all
might
that.
kill you.
Nah,
It's not chocolate.
right. It's a natural aphrodisiac. All right, it drives the women crazy.
Yeah, I'm not sure I believe that either.
All right, well we'll be going, Delaquan.
Hey, bring that tomorrow. Right, bring that
course.
tomorrow. Find me. Okay, first thing you do, find me there. Okay. Okay. So you guys leave Delaquan. Anything else you guys want to do? If not, we're gonna
Delaquan's
move.
house?
Yeah,
No,
Delaquan's house.
I'll wink as Mrs. Bijan on the way out.
Okay. All right.
Bye, Mr. and Mrs. Bijan.
They're like, great. He's like, all right, see you guys soon. Right? They're just kind of like, yeah, they look like glad they're leaving. Right?
Those are the bad kids. That's why Delaquan went down the bad road.
Yeah.
It's those 4.
All right. So
So outside, I'll tell everybody, hey, so I know Delaquan said that it'd be bad to show it to them because they might hurt us.
Right. I think what we do is we get a couple of the dobies aside and we make an offer.
Well, I was gonna say, since it might be dangerous, I could go up and make the offer, and you guys could sit back. And then the worst case, then I could just run from them. I am
Sure.
faster than all of you.
that sounds potentially
Bishop?
very dangerous, Bishop.
Dobermans, they're pretty fast too, though.
I
can't let
think
you
there's
do
safety
that.
in the pack.
But I'm definitely faster than a Doberman.
Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
I
I can't let you do that.
I think it's safer in the pack. I say the group, we go up as a group.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to offer it.
Yeah,
to
the
you
idea
guys.
of Lucille going alone to represent
Yeah, no.
the trade agreement is
Nope.
very concerning to Bishop. He does not think that does not sit easy with you.
Okay,
Right.
well then I guess tomorrow we'll just all go and we'll go see what we can get for it. It can't be as bad, Delaquan always likes to make things seem so much worse.
All right.
That's it.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna move forward into the next day.
Yep.
Right. So very early in the morning, you're gonna start to hear the commotions of a lot of the other dogs that are out in the streets and things like that. You hear the barking. The whining. The anticipation, the anxietal yelps and things like that. As you guys are waking up, and it's a very festive outside. And there's a procession that's leading straight down to there's a large dock that goes out into the river where you guys use boats. You've got boats on one side, and then you can receive boats on the other side. So everyone's sort of moving in that direction to witness the Doberman's arrival. So as you guys, I'm assuming that you guys are going to join the crowd.
There's something I want to go look for first.
Okay, what would that be?
Well, you mentioned something about weed.
Right, so there is a form of mild, inebriating weed that grows natural, and you guys refer to it as tripweed.
Yeah.
Because typically what happens is when you smoke it under the effects of tripweed, you tend to be a little clumsy, and you tend to trip over things and stub your toe and things like that, because your innate kind of cognizant of of things, and your awareness of small details seems to wane under the effects of the tripweed. So they call it tripweed because when dogs smoke it, they stumble on things, or they seem to roll off things that they wouldn't normally roll off of, and that kind of thing. They call it tripweed.
I want to try to find somebody who has some to trade some of my mint bushel partially with it.
Okay, well, the Dobermans, they love, it's common that the Dobermans smoke a lot of tripweed.
And we know Cordell's growing it.
And Cordell grows it, and Cordell's got it. You can imagine that Cordell will be here trying to trade tripweed as a side hustle somewhere, doing something. He's always got some.
I'm gonna go look for Cordell.
Okay, all right, okay. So you're gonna look for Cordell before going down to the river?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Anyone going with? Are you going alone, or are you letting them? Hey, I want to go meet a
Anyone
Cordell.
can come with me.
Yeah, I'm going.
Okay.
Bishop's going. I'm going.
You're looking for tripweed? I'll say, yeah, sure, I'll go. I don't really like that stuff though. It doesn't let me run right.
It's not for you.
Well, yeah, I don't really want any. But I'm
Good, because it
fine.
wasn't for you anyway. No.
Well, yeah, that's fine. I'm just saying that I don't want any.
Yeah, Bosley, when you smoke it, it just makes you want to nap.
Yeah, no,
more.
I prefer the
a
sauce.
total
I'm
couch
not-
potato.
Yeah, no.
You-
So I'm gonna post up at our river spot and kind of observe the festivities as the day, gets underway and the arrival is prepared for.
Yeah, you'd rather drink that corn liquor.
And they're coming up by river?
Yes.
By boat?
Yep, they're coming up by boat. All right. So it looks like Lucille, Riggs, and Bishop are going over to Cordell's.
Yep.
Right. So you go over to Cordell's. As soon as you better than to go to the front of the house, Cordell's. Just to go around back, because that's where he spends most of his time. He's got a small shed out back that he hangs out in because he likes to be away from the parental limitations, of being told what he can do, what he shouldn't be doing, and when he should do it, when he shouldn't. So he's kind of a night owl, kind of a hermit, in his own regard. But he's pretty, you know where to find him, man. He's part of your crew, right? But you'll find him bundling up a bunch of tripweed in like burlap, cloth, and he's trying to bind it with like baling rope, if you will, like a tweed rope, and he's got this big bushel, and he's like, trying to figure out, he's trying to fasten it to like some type of sled that he's going to drag down and probably do some kind of business with.
Okay.
And as he sees you guys rolling up, he's like, hey, give me a hand with this, right? And he's like, hold that down right there, right? And he's just trying to strap this huge bundle of tripweed down, and he's like, yeah, hey, this is the latest crop here. I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna make a killing with this
I'm
stuff.
gonna flash the mint.
So what you got there? He smells it, right? And he says, ooh, that's nice.
I want to know what happens when you mix them and smoke them.
I don't know. Smoked mint, I don't think it does anything. But perhaps a cross strain maybe could be something of value. That's not a bad idea now that you think about it. Well, that minty, fresh kind of aftertaste instead of that, dry, sulfuric kind of, throat burn. Well, you might be onto something. I mean, how much you got? I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah, set it over there. I'll take it. Yeah, cool.
Half for half.
What are you talking about?
Half the bushel for half a bushel.
You crazy? I'm giving this to the Dobes. All right, these guys roll over on their backs for this stuff.
Oh, that's fine.
They're slave to the tripweed, man. Didn't you know? Yeah. But I'll tell you what. Here, I'll give you some. Right? I tell you what. Leave me with the mint, and I'll give you some out of my own stash.
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay, so he gives you a small sack full of tripweed. It's got 4 doses. And when you smoke tripweed, there's a natural healing. Well, there's a natural. It kind of numbs you to a point where you ignore the first 2 points of damage when you're under its effects. But the effects wear off quickly. It only lasts about 20 minutes, right, per dose. But the drawback is you're at disadvantage to all dexterity checks while under its effects. But you feel less pain when you're on its effects. So you become this but it's highly addictive, and so a lot of people don't smoke it. And you're almost looked down upon if you do smoke it. They think, oh, okay, well,
Okay,
right.
so I'll take it.
Oh, okay. So you've got a sack of 4 doses of tripweed. All right. And so Cordell's gonna, try and hurry you, try and like, hey, help me out so we get this thing down there. I want to be one of the first ones down to the dock.
Sure,
right, when
we'll
the Dobes
help
come.
him.
All right, cool. So if you're gonna help him out,
Wait. If we're gonna help, I want a little bit for myself. I want to trade for something. You're not going on the calling with us, but we're gonna need something out there.
you guys are still gonna chase.
We're gonna
you're still gonna chase down this crazy thing. You don't need to do
so.
that.
I think it's worth it.
all you need is this right here, dude. This is the key to long life and prosperity in the safety of our home.
So, you remember the last time I tried to grow that shit?
It's because you didn't have Cordell leading the way, baby.
I know. But give me the shot. Let me take a bit. I'll help you take it down. You know I can pack it.
Okay,
Green
so he gives you a sack with 2 doses of tripweed.
All right.
All right.
And I'll
Okay,
help
here,
carry
get to work. Yeah. All right. And keep your snout out of that stuff. All right.
Forget the calling. Let's become
right.
pot farmers.
And as you guys,
No, tripweed farm.
tripweed, okay? Tripweed.
Josh.
Well, I'm sure they call it different things.
Tripweed, right? It's known as tripweed, right? Right? Not to be confused with like hallucinogenic type weed, right? This is just, I mean, it does something,
trip
right?
up your own
When smoked,
weed.
right? It's also used in ceremonial rituals. The elder, it's been known that the elder uses it to get into this communal mind space to, you know, commune with Idaho, you know, at times. All right. So you guys are going to help drag the sled of tripweed down, and it's been kind of disguised in its wrap. I mean, it's not like illegal, but it's you're kind of looked down upon. You're like, oh yeah, you smoke too much tripweed, you know? Like, yeah, they don't know what they're talking about.
Has he been doing this for a while? I mean,
He's been doing this for he's kind of got it down.
Got out of the adolescent stage.
Well, his parents have been growing it,
All
so
right,
he grew up with
we're
it.
taking their space at the
Basically, yes,
Okay.
yes. So he's, you
we're
know,
taking
he's
their space at the dock side.
right. He's his whole
taking
aspiration in life is to become the ultimate tripweed grower, so he can build a small empire. All right, and maybe have his own village, things like that. He's got it all planned out, but right now, bringing it to market is what's important. All right. So he's got this big bundle. It's kind of disguised in this burlap wrap and bound with this string, and he's like, you know, we're cool. One whiff from the Dobes, they'll know what we're dealing with, right? And we'll have all the power to negotiate.
I gotta say
right?
this,
but you might want to let me do the talking.
One whip
you know?
from anyone, they're gonna know what we're doing.
Right? He's just like, you know, he seems a little numb to that concept.
Yeah.
You know,
his nose is numb too.
but he's kind of like, yeah, it's still squash. He's like, huh? Right? But he's like, but you might want to let me do the talking. Right? These guys are a little. I've dealt with their kind before. Right? You just, you know, they're malleable, but you need to approach them in a certain fashion, or else you'll never get anywhere with them.
What are you trading for?
I want to see what they've got. I'm hoping to get one of their maybe some of their weapons that I can then barter and fence in town for some other supplies, right? Fast growing supplies I can harvest twice a year instead of once a year. All right. So he's all, but that's a whole nother thing, a whole nother conversation, right? That's in depth, right? So just follow my lead.
Joey, the soil amendments dash out.
Just follow my lead.
Yeah, I got your stuff. It's over here, man.
Right. Says just follow my lead and we'll be fine. We'll be fine. All right. So.
It'd be cool.
Yeah, right. And I tell you what.
Cool, man.
And no matter what you do, you see Delaquan coming, you need to head him off the path. I don't need him in here messing things up. Okay?
Oh my god.
All right. So you guys are gonna drag this stuff down there. As you guys get closer to the river, there's a large, you know, most of the members in town. This is the thing to do. You know, everyone's down here. There's booths set up. Think of it like being like a dog Ren fair, if you will. You know, and all the people bringing out their wares. You know, food. We're talking about clothing, different things like that. You know, all different types of goods, and you know, thrown mugs and different things like that, earthenware, you know, clay stuff, and that they're hoping to kind of trade and fence in this huge marketplace.
You know, I don't remember what it was last season, but it seems like last season studded leather was in for the Dobies as well. Don't you think they would change fashion at some point? I mean, all these people, look at this. Everybody's making studded leather in black. I mean, I know it's slimming, but it's all in black.
Yeah.
I'm all
bit of
for
gray.
if it works, it works. But you think they'd want a little bit more freedom to express themselves? That seems so
And freedom
rigid.
from my lean over ground, and freedom from stuff like this. This could be chafing. Put it back down.
Well, you know that the Dobes are, you know, they're very rigid in the way they live. I mean, the idea of them like doing something different is completely like irrational to them, and they're just like, that's the problem
Did you
with
ever
you.
consider Navy? No, man, it's black.
Yeah.
Black.
They're like, they think that's the problem with you, breeds, is that you're constantly trying to fix something that isn't broken, right? So eventually you're gonna hear in the distance, you're gonna hear this cacophony of barking, but it's the same type of bark, but many barks, you know,
Like a
at
chant?
at the same time.
A chant kind of thing, or a cheer?
More like a haka. You know what I mean? You ever heard like a New Zealand haka? They're like, ooh, haka, you know? They're like, bark, 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 you know? So as you see this boat coming up the river, and it's got a mass of black Dobermans. You just see the massive black. There's actually 2 boats coming up, and as they pull
the
in,
red Dobies are on the back boat.
right. Well, the red Dobies actually are the ones actually oaring the boat. The black Dobies are the ones walking around, right?
All right.
And so they're going to pull up, and they're going to be greeted by elder and other members, fluid members of Muttinshire, and eventually they're going to mingle in and come off the docks, and they start carrying, bringing crates of different things that they're going to bring into the marketplace and set up in an area that's been kind of allocated for them to set up their stuff. As people kind of crowd around, you're going to see that as they start to set up, they're going to start opening up things, and they're going to start setting up hanging swords and axes.
Is it a thing where like each of the Dobies is their own craftsman, they have their own shop, or is it what was his name? What's the leader's name?
Horst.
Horst is there, and everybody's coming to Horst to try and trade.
Horst isn't here, right? But he's got
so it's a bunch of shop owners, not shop owners, but
a bunch of shop
artisans.
But they all work under this kind of like dictatorship kind of thing. It all goes, they get a percentage of it, but then they all pay tithe, to Horst.
Got it.
Right. So they're all here and hoping to fence their wares, based on the skills that they have, which are mostly armor and weaponsmithing. And then other metallurgy type, wares, hammers, different things like that.
Plates, cups.
Yes, you got metal. Yep, silverware, okay. Plates, cups,
all right,
things
so
like that.
All the kind of blacksmithing, metallurgy stuff.
Yep.
Plus Boyer Fletcher, right?
Right. Yes,
right.
Boyer Fletcher, and those are always the big attractions. Like people are always interested, like knives and different things like that, right? Because everyone's like, yeah, plates. Okay, cool. Those are exciting for a minute, but what? Show me the sword that you got.
Well, plates. I said plates. I meant dog bowls.
Yeah, bowls and things like that. So as they start to set up, you see that they've got large about 25% of this. It's a big circle. They've got like this 25% of the wedge of this pie that they're designated to set up, and they start setting up these, the little marketing kiosks, if you will, are already there. They start hanging them and things like that, and they pretty much ignore you as they go into this regimental kind of very calm and structured, just setting things up like they've done this before. It's a well-oiled machine. The way firemen show up to put out a fire, it seems like they're moving slow without surgeons, but it's so practiced and rehearsed that they do this all the time is what they do. Anybody gonna approach any of them before they're set up?
No.
Okay.
Well, no, wait a minute. Actually, no. Riggs is. I'm gonna find a younger Dobie. Somebody who looks like he's just apprenticing up.
Okay.
Maybe take a quick look at all the wares. The one that's got.
So maybe one of the red hairs.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
A few more nicks in the sword than is necessary. That kind of thing.
Okay. Now the only ones that are actually carrying weapons that are sheathed are the black-coated Doberman.
I'm not thinking that they're carrying. I'm thinking that they're setting up. I'm looking at them going,
okay.
Hey, so there's the expert swordsman. Yeah, he ain't gonna deal with me. I'm gonna work my way down to the guy who's making the poured knives that are
right.
I'm gonna try and work my way up for a sword. So I'm gonna approach one of them. As they're setting up and say, hey, so I got something. I need a sword, and I will kind of flash the bag out.
Yeah, he's like,
and then I'll waft it with my paw in his direction. It's got a real good nose, right?
He's like, what do you mean you got something limp lip?
So I hold it a little closer to his face and waft my paw again.
I'm listening.
Well, I need something to keep me safe as I go north, away from the guard if you find Dobermans. I was hoping that possibly there'd be a trade here.
Wag your tail really fast.
He says, well, well, I've got some of my new my new pieces here, and he pulls out one. He's like, I was just getting ready to set these up, but I've got 3 like it, right? And he's like, feel the weight, right? He hands it to you, and he's like,
it's heavy, right?
It's really heavy.
You're right.
And
it feels like it has weight.
Seems unwieldy, right? It seems very heavy. You're looking at go ahead and give me a intelligence roll.
Oh God. Well, it's actually a good roll. 14.
At 14, you're looking at it. The metal doesn't in some areas it doesn't seem smooth. It seems pitted.
And that's kind of what I was expecting.
Right.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, and it seems really heavy on one end, but really light on the other. It doesn't seem balanced at all. And he's all, 2. All right. I'm trying to make a saving throw. He's like, how much of that you got?
Well, what I got is this, and I show him the bag.
He gets close to it, and he's like,
he says, but I got a friend who's got it twice as much as I got.
His ears kind of perk up.
He says, got a friend that's got twice as much as I got. But the thing is this is me working for me. He would be working for all of us. We might need 4 swords.
He's all, see that case right there?
Mm-hmm.
He kind of nods down to a case that's sitting on the ground, so he's all, I was going to wait until later to break that out. But you go get your friend, and we'll talk.
I'll be right back. Bishop!
What do you want?
You hear your name being called, Bishop!
So as he's doing that,
I'm barking it out.
I want to roll this. I'm going to smell to see if I smell anyone smoking tons of it right now.
No, yeah. What you smell mostly is there are cauldrons, like pots of different stews and things that are being heated up, breads that are being brought out. So you smell pastries
stuff
and
stuff that can travel, probably like
yeah,
meat pies.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what you smell. You don't smell any of the
Do I
tripweed.
see anything like them?
No, they're not like, people don't typically be like, hey man, tripweed, here you go, man. Hey, you need anything?
Salted fish.
Somebody stand on the corner, hey.
Look for the rave over in the...
Right, the
Or-
tent. There's like a beer tent going on where they're all like hanging out.
Okay,
They're all laying around on
so then-
couches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Then I hear him, and I'll go.
You hear
over and
your
see
voice
what's
and
up.
like, Bishop, there's only...
Instead of snapping his paw.
Well, yes. Pads. Beating of the pads. All right, so you hear your name
Yeah.
being called. There's only one bishop in town.
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay.
Bishop,
So, all right.
I got us a deal. So I got one of the armor, or excuse me, one of the weaponsmiths. He's willing to trade. So you got about twice as much as I got. He's willing.
Let's
to
see what
trade.
he's got.
Yeah, let's go, because he's got weapons potentially for all of us.
Okay.
I think we take weapons to the calling. I mean, as long as we don't tell anyone, I think we take weapons to the calling. We're all ahead.
Can I make a wisdom saving throw to see if they know what happens during the calling? Like, do they check you before you go?
Oh yeah, you're
down.
you're wrapped up with nothing. You know, you
Like, you
don't
don't
get
even
to,
have your rucksack?
Nope, you don't bring anything. You're let loose in the wild to survive for 3 days and find the shrine and bring back the relics.
Tie him to the bottom of the raft.
I was just thinking that myself. Yeah, I gotta wait.
Or we just... Wait, so did they take us somewhere?
They take you upriver.
They
Yep.
take you upriver.
They take you
okay.
upriver and drop you off. It's like, think of like Survivor, where they drop you off in this undisclosed kind of area, and you're like, cool, and they set you loose. Like, good luck.
Well, then
With
we
just
really can't
with
bring
just the
anything.
clothes on your back.
You could try and
Clothes on
pull
my
something.
back.
Right, you get clothes. You're not naked. It's not naked and afraid. All right,
minute, no.
let's go and check each other out, snip each other's butts real quick, and get it out of the way.
Screw them. I'm going through this. If I want to bring something, who's going to tell me otherwise?
Have fun hiding it.
So yeah,
I will.
so let me bring you up to this guy. So
All right, so he's leading you up to this kiosk. This red-haired Doberman setting stuff up, you know, and he's like,
this is him. Show him what you got.
that's it.
Bishop, show him what you got.
So what are you showing?
I show him the tripweed.
The bag that he's got.
You got the
2
full,
doses.
So there's a bag with 2 doses.
Yeah, well, no, his is 4, mine's 2.
I split
His
them.
is twice.
No, he said so you show him a bag with 2.
I show him a bag with a total of 2 and say I have 2 more. Also,
There's more where this came.
Let's see it.
pull out another bag and show 2 more.
Okay, so now because you told him he's got,
double what I got.
and you showed
I
him
got
2,
it.
right?
Yep.
Okay, so cool.
So can we
He's
see?
all-
Can we see your wares?
all-
I mean, you've got fine stuff here. I'm excited.
He smells. He's gonna lean in to smell each one of the bags that you've got to make sure it's the real deal, right? Like,
right, yeah.
You know-
his teeth.
yeah, right. He's like, man, I don't know, huh?
Does the little lower lip thing.
Yeah,
where
right.
he
Yeah. Rub some on his gums, you know. He's like, all right. Got lean over, right? He crouches down. He looks around, right? And, you know, he opens up this case, and inside is a well-fashioned, sitting in this nice seated, box, is a hammer, right? Wooden handle, worked metal head on it. Looks really nicely made, right? He's all, you're not gonna see too many of these around. He's all, first line of home defense, except no substitutes.
You got 4 of those for us?
He looks at you. What do I look like? Oh, no, you're not gonna find one of these. You're not gonna find one of these anywhere.
What you got smaller?
What do you got for 4? We need 4 or whatever it is.
Closes the box real quick.
The workmanship. I'll start doing the lay it on thick. Workmanship's incredible, and we respect your talent. But there's 4 of
He
us.
starts digging through things. You can hear him clinking through different, metallic clinks. And he's like, no, it's not any. So, and he pulls up a bandolier and he starts to unroll it. And what you have there are 4, for lack of a better term, they're going to be 4, I want to say dirks. Right? A dirk is smaller than a dagger or longer than a dagger?
Longer than
I want to
that.
say it's longer.
Is it curved? Is the dirk curved?
No.
Dirk is double bladed.
No,
double edged.
Double
Dirk
edged.
is double edged, and anything can be a dirk. But generally, historically, it's like around 8 inches, I think, or something.
And they're just like longer. They're for puncturing, right? If I remember those.
They're a dirk dagger.
Just
Same
a
thing.
dagger. Okay.
Almost.
Then yeah, same thing. They're small knife. Well, bigger than a knife.
Something that can hide.
Yeah.
Well, something we can keep hidden, potentially bring on our person on there. I think that, at least for me, that's what I'm going for.
I mean,
Riggs is-
I got a lot of wrinkles in my coat. So, I mean,
So,
even if
they're for game purpose, they're daggers, but they're more slender with a longer blade, right?
Yeah.
You know, and they're double edged. He's like,
Oh, that's nice. What do you think,
I got
Bishop?
4 of these.
Do you think it's worth it? That gets us set for the calling.
He says, no. Calling, you say?
Yeah.
Hey, now, whatever business we do here, I don't want any responsibility for you guys, you know, doing something you're not supposed to do with these things.
What are we? I don't know what we're not supposed. I don't know what we're not supposed to do with these.
You said
things.
the calling. You be set for the calling with these.
Yeah, I said that. What
Yeah.
I'm saying is, I don't know what we'd use them for. We're just bringing them along.
so
Wouldn't have anything to do with you.
would he know the rules to the calling?
So go and give me a charisma roll.
Okay.
All right. I've got a 16.
I have a 4.
He's all, I wasn't a pup yesterday.
Oh boy.
All right. So let me say it a different way. We want to
Who
find
used
our
these for
way.
something not related to the calling?
We're gonna find our way.
It will be set, man.
You guys said
What I
calling?
meant to say was when we're done with the calling, we'd be set to start. That these would be at home. That's
Start
what we
poking.
meant.
I'll tell you what. I'll make you a deal. You give me another bag like you got those 2. You give me another bag, and these 4 will be yours. But you didn't get them from me.
Nope.
And it needs to happen quick before I get set up and everybody starts standing in line to get my knives.
All right, Bishop. I'm gonna run down and find Cordell.
Okay.
Cordell!
Cordell, right? Need more weed. All right.
Drag your
Look,
sleigh
man,
over here.
I need 2 more doses.
So you
Quietly,
you
yeah.
run up on Cordell. Cordell is looks like he's talking with 2 of the black coated
Yep.
Dobermans, right? And they're in some type of discussion.
Right.
Cordell's standing on a box. Right, so you can look eye to eye.
Right.
You know, and these things are like, they're taller, you know, bigger dogs, and they're
Very
like
regal.
they're kind of like looking
straight up.
They're kind of be like looking at him like, you know, they kind of have the look of like, who do you think you are, right? And he's like, yeah, huh? See, he's kind of doing the back and forth thing because he's small, you know, small face. He's like going from, you know, dog to dog, right? As you walk up on Cordell, and he's standing on this box and he's talking to these guys. Were you gonna interrupt him?
You know, as I stop yelling, as I start watching. So I'm gonna watch it for a little bit.
Okay, so they kind of go back and forth a little bit, and at some point, one of the black coat Dobermans pushes Cordell. Right, so go and give me a perception roll. So this is going to be intelligence.
Okay.
I believe it's intelligence. Let me double check, but I believe it's intelligence
Yeah.
based. Yes, it is. I know it's intelligence based. So you're gonna give me an
All right,
intelligence
Bishop.
roll, right?
Yep. Gotta do intelligence. Wouldn't I help him anyway since I push him?
Well, this is to see if you notice him being pushed.
Oh, okay. 7.
7. All right.
Do you have any pluses?
Is it a proficiency?
No.
No.
No, it's just a straight.
So now this
7.
is where, if you wanted to, I'm not saying you have to, but this is one of those events where you've made a roll, you haven't succeeded. If you really wanted to be able, you could be like, you could talk to the group and go, everybody all right if I use a piece of fortune to re-roll?
So everybody, should I use a piece of fortune
I'm
to
up
reroll?
for it. Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
This gets
All right.
going.
Do we,
Okay, all right, so I'm going to
Wait,
take...
wait. We didn't get the okay
Oh,
from...
is everyone okay with it?
Well, my question was: is Barry also there, and does he have a roll come in before we need to re-roll this?
Does
or is
Riggs
only-
notice it?
So who's there? So I've got...
I'm here and
I
Bishop's
thought it
here.
was them two.
Bishop,
there.
Yeah.
you can go ahead and give me a roll. Yep.
It's like, why waste the point of
Yeah.
fortune?
And
if
where's
Barry-
Lucille when all this is going on?
Okay.
So me, what I imagined I'm doing is, if they didn't invite me along, I'm probably just running through town, to be honest. I'm not in
Checking everything out.
I'm looking. I'm just running, and it's because I don't use my nose as much. It's literally me running to a place, scanning and just observing,
That looks
and then
cool. That
zipping.
looks cool.
Yeah.
All right. And everybody in town knows you, and you're kind of like, they're like, oh, hey, it's Lucille. But you're like, you never have the time to sit and chat because you're constantly ADHD. You're like, oh, yeah, oh, wait,
Yeah,
look at that.
I'm just look
You
at
know?
that. Look at that.
So they're like, oh, hey, so as you're kind of making the rounds, saying hi to everybody, you're kind of working the room, if you will.
And I mean, I guess if I see Well, nobody told me not to do anything.
You're right. Nobody told you not to do anything.
This is a. I mean, this is a wonderful environment to you because there's so many curiosities here, and there's so much things you can get into. You know.
And then, actually, maybe my character doesn't know very much about the actual trip up north. Is the
You know about the calling?
Yeah. Do I know much about the calling? Do we all know about it?
Everyone knows about the calling.
So
Everyone knows.
Even the Dobermans, apparently.
Even the Dobermans know about the calling that you guys conduct every year because it's been going on for generations.
Is it against the one? Is there rules that it would be against to bring stuff, or is it a code of honor not to bring stuff?
It's against the rules.
It's
You
against
can bring anything. You go up with the clothes on your back.
Except there are no rules.
Right. Once you're dropped
That's what
off,
Riggs is working on.
you're there. The rules are that there are no rules by any means. If you are able to acquire, obtain access to, find the location of the shrine, get access to it, and acquire the relics and get back to town, and whatever means you see fit, and whatever you're able to do in order to be successful in that effort along the way, is completely up to you. But on the trip up, the only caveat is that you go with the clothes. Arrive and you go on with the clothes in your back. It's a true testament to your ability.
Has an accent that happens to also be a dirk hanging from it.
Right. Well, see, that's the thing. Is Riggs was thinking. That's my family crest. Is dirt. That looks like a real dirt. No.
So what Bosley wants
if you're
to
able
do,
to slip it by him somehow.
Well, in his case, I know where it's going.
What Bosley wants to do while this is all going on is that he's familiar. Bosley's a big Saint Bernard, and he's got a lot more bulk and weight than a lot of dogs. And so what he's hoping to do is, like, he walks around the setting up period, and hopefully if anybody needs help unloading anything, then he'll happily strap some rucksacks on and help
like
unload.
Volunteer to help.
So
carry heavy
he
items.
just throw him a piece of meat, throw him something of value that he can scruff down. The idea is going out on the calling tomorrow. I want to leave on a full stomach.
Okay.
So if he can do any little odd and end work where it's just using his big size to earn a piece of food, then he'll do that.
Well, you know that the best place to do that is going to be to volunteer for the Twisted Tail. You know that Gary is always enlisting, dogs to help set up. He sets up a big stand because his
that's perfect. Yeah.
He wants to move a lot of product. He wants to move a lot of carn pie and fresh bread.
And also, is the carn what my whiskey is made of? Is that?
Yeah, it's carn
So yeah,
liquor.
that's perfect.
It's carn liquor.
If he I'll be happy to help Gary anytime he wants to barter with food and or carn liquor, whiskey.
Well, he tells you that if if you help him, if you basically volunteer for setup, that he'll give you 2 days, all you can drink.
So that's what Bosley's up to.
Okay, cool. All right. So you're helping set up with Gary.
Okay.
And Lucille's working the room.
Oh, can I actually, if I can, is the elder around?
Yeah, so the elder is here. He wanders as he goes through. People are like, "Oh, hey, he's well known, right?" And he's just kind of hanging out. And he's waiting for people to be set up. And he just comes down to take it all in and see it all go down.
Can I run up to the elder?
Yeah.
Hi, good morning, elder. I was wondering if you have a moment. I know you're probably really busy today.
I'm busy. Yes.
Elder
Elder speaks really slow and is methodical. Sometimes you say things, he kind of looks at you before he responds.
In a huge
hurry.
Well, Elder, as you know, tomorrow I'm going to be one of the ones going out for the calling. And I was wondering, I know the rules say we can't bring anything. Is there anything we can do, or is there any? What have people done in the past? I just want to succeed so that I can, be free to help. Is there any advice you can offer me?
Well, I'd have to think about that.
Okay, well, if you want, I can let you think about it and come back later, or if you...
Dangerous things that the calling is, yup.
Has anybody ever brought anything with them in secret? That you know of? Have they been in trouble?
Have they knowingly done any of this thing in secret?
I'd have to think about that. No, I don't think so. But, calling's a very serious thing.
Yes.
Get back to me later on, I might have an answer.
Thank you, Elder. Bam.
Okay.
It's like two eternal opposites.
Have you ever?
How about now?
So, if you've ever watched the show Duck Dynasty, in the show Duck Dynasty is someone they call Mountain Man, And like they go to him, and he's like, "Well, I'm a little bit hungry." Right? Everything he takes forever, right? And that's what I kind of envision the elder to be like Mountain Man from Duck Dynasty. Right?
If you want to talk to me, you're gonna have to be patient.
Yeah, all right. You're gonna have to wait. I'm gonna think on it, and I'm gonna get back to you. All right. So, and that's pretty much how Elder is. The only exception to that is when he sets up storytelling time at the Twisted Tale. When he's got a story to tell, you know, the ears, you know, it quiets down. People listen. And they're like, okay, you know, and he speaks so slow, and people kind of. Okay, yeah, and okay, come on, give it to us, right? So, you know, it keeps demand high, right? But yeah, so that's you know, it's quite common. You don't get a lot from Elder, but you know, based on the content you're asking him, you know, you assume it might be a little weird. He's like, oh yeah, you know, yeah, people cheat all the time, you know, right? You know?
Yeah.
Probably not gonna.
That's good for no reason in particular. Bye, Elder.
Just curious.
All right, so what did you get on your? What did Riggs get on his perception roll?
A 1.
A 1.
Not a natural.
Okay. All right. Oh, but a 1. Oh, okay. You rolled a 2. That's awesome. All right.
So
On the way up, Bishop and I are talking.
Okay.
So does anyone?
Right.
Should I use one with fortune or not? What do you guys think?
Yeah. Did you already use one?
No, that's not yet. I haven't
then
made the
use
decision.
one. Go for it.
Totally
I see you use one.
It's for our buddy, so I guess I'll go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay,
So we'd like to take one
I'm
out
going to
there.
take one of the pieces of fortune out of the
I know
bowl,
it's not worthwhile for me to re-roll.
and you'll re-roll.
It's even worse.
What'd you roll?
A 5.
A 5. All right.
So yeah, we're talking.
All right. Yeah, you're talking. You're like, okay, cool. So you roll up. You know, you're pretty much now. Oh, since you were watching, you know, Cordell, I'll give you advantage on your roll. So you go ahead and roll another d20 because you were already kind of observing. You were looking
That's
for him
13.
specifically. Okay. Well, the target number is 12. So you see at some point, you know, that one of the Dobermans kind of stiff arms Cordell, and he almost stammers back for a second.
Bishop,
Almost
did you
falls
see
off
that?
the box, but doesn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Bishop, did you see that? They're pushing him around.
Yep, I saw it.
Well, you didn't see it.
Oh,
You know,
he did.
Briggs is
Told
telling
you
you,
about
did you see that? Right? And you're like, you're looking over here. You're like, what? So,
Yep.
You know?
I mean, the
So,
wind
what are you
pushes
guys going to
him
do? How are you going to
right
react?
We're gonna walk up.
Okay.
Yep,
Alright.
gonna walk up. Have to.
Okay. So you walk up,
Alright.
and so you see, you over here as you walk up, one of the Dobermans, what do you think this is? What are you trying to pull on us here, little man?
Hey, Cordell, can you come over here?
Yeah,
a second?
guys, yeah, over here.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, he's all, you see that? Yeah, right, okay.
I have friends.
Don't think I ain't got my back up, right? You think because you're bigger than me, right? You can push me around. Okay, no. All right?
That's what Cordell.
Right, that's what he's saying. All of a sudden he gets really brave and calm. He's like, yeah, all right, you're lucky. You're lucky if these guys showed up in time. I was just getting ready to go to work on these two. Right?
Hey, Cordell, we need something from you, and then we'll be out of your hair and let you go back to business. Be just a couple seconds.
Hold on, let me get my bitches in line. All right? So, okay, so what do you say to him?
Well, he said, hold
All
on,
right, yeah,
let me get
okay.
my business line,
All right,
so I'm
you're just
gonna
like,
wait.
we need, all right, he's all, I see either one of you guys running around here. You know what? You might as well go back to the boat if you know what's good for you. All right? If not, my boy's going to handle you. All right?
I'm just looking at Bishop.
And he's like,
That
he winks.
skeptic
Is
eye.
this the Dotson?
No, this is
These
this
are
is
not
the,
Dachshunds,
this is
they're
the
Dobermans. Oh, him?
Yeah.
It's Cordell.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Hey.
He's like, he's a little dog. He's like, hey, right? But he seems to get pretty confident when you guys walk up, right? And the Dobermans are like, yeah, we'll be careful, but we'll be seeing you around. He's like, you better hope not. He says, I think just because, you know, they're you know, 3 times my size, right, running around with all that tight nut hugger leather, you know, that they can just do whatever they want, you know. They can come push the little man around. Okay, I'm an entrepreneur. Okay, a businessman. They have no concept of that, right? What do you guys need?
So, we need another 2 doses of tripweed.
You smoked all that already?
No, we're making small deals. But if you need us to stay for a little bit, we can stay.
You need Cordell's help.
Yeah, with just like you need ours. That's what a pack does, right?
All right, let's go. Let me do the talking. Though. It's probably
All right.
best if you let me
All right,
do
all
the
right.
talking.
That sounds good.
It's probably best,
But just
actually.
bring the tripweed.
Oh yeah, I got it. Yeah.
All right.
All right, cool. Yeah. He's like, I got it
Wait
right
a
over here.
wait a sec. You're not gonna just leave this. We got to get someone. Let me go see if I can find you Bosley. he can watch the stuff when we go over.
Yeah, where is he?
I don't want to drag this thing.
Hey,
over.
get that old Loof over here, man.
All right, so I'm gonna go head into town, see if I can figure out where Bosley is.
Hey, make sure he's not on the sauce, right? Okay, I need him on his A game.
He wouldn't be on the sauce. He's got something to do tomorrow.
Bosley. Of course
You're
he's
right.
on the sauce.
It's not even noon yet. Why would he be
He's on the sauce.
I'm literally getting paid the sauce right now to do work.
Yeah, Bosley's here. He's not in town. All this is going down by the dock, right? So they've set up like this circular kind of roundabout Ren
No,
fair
I get
thing,
that.
you know.
Actually, I think about it. It's like Bishop, you could stay here.
You guys
and
probably
watch
know
the stuff and guard it, and I could go up with Cordell.
You guys know where I'm at the beginning of the festival usually.
He's at the Twisted Tail, helping set up the breads and everything.
Right.
You know,
I'm gonna stay with the.
That'll work.
You're gonna stay with the
Let's
tripweed.
go.
I'm gonna stay with the tripweed.
Okay. So now,
I want him to bring. Bishop, you trust me with it?
Sure.
So I need you to bring a little bit more, so we can make the deal. We're going for 4 dirks.
Dirks. What's a dirk?
Well, you know, little swords that we can take. Well, that we can.
8 inches
You know,
long.
for the 4 of us that are going on the call. I'm trying to squirm around.
He's like, snap, you know, the proverbial sneeze, you know, he's just like, what? You know, he's like, really, you guys are still on, you really going to go through with this?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it'll work for us. I mean, if not,
Hey, I tell you what, I wish you guys the best. I love you guys. But I tell you what, if it works, you let them know Cordell helped mastermind that plan.
you know.
All right.
All right. So
Okay,
we'll head up.
so, all right. Hold on. He gets into the thing, right? He's like, all right, here, I got what we need.
He
Okay,
puts
come
his
on.
whole, like it's just his butt is sticking
Yeah,
out the whole
right.
bag.
Yeah, a little
and
butt,
the
you're wiggling.
Tail's going. He's I got the right piece.
Yeah, he grabs the
got the
stock.
best
And he's like, all right, let's go. And he kind of holds. He's trying to conceal it under his arm. He's like, here, maybe you should carry it.
Yeah, let's hear
Right.
it.
All right. And
Grab
so you work your way back over to the guy, and he's like, oh, geez, now what? Right. He's like, you got what we talked about?
I do. Cordell?
He's all, my associates here say that you got something to interest them. Then you're looking to do you do some business. And the Doberman's like, yeah, that's pretty much right. He's all, let me show you what I got. He rolls out the bandolier and he's got the 4 things. He's like, Cordell's like, you mind? Yeah, let me take a look here. All right. He's like, you make these yourself, huh? And the Doberman is says, yeah, that's right. Made it myself. He's like picking his teeth with one. He's like biting on it, you know. And he's like,
That's not how you use it, Cordell.
he looks at you.
Yeah, all right. I'll look down.
He goes back to the Doberman and he says, you got a long line family history of making these things or what? No, this is a hobby, right? And you know, the Doberman says, yeah, been in my family a long time. Yeah, we're skilled. Yeah, of course. Yeah, we know what we're doing. He's like, feels a little light to me. So, but I tell you what I'll do, because you're here and I don't want, you know, I know, I don't want you to feel like you're put on the spot. You know, and I know you don't want to take these things home with you. Okay, right? But I've seen these kind of things before. You know, and it's a little off on the weight. And I'm not getting at, you know, the family heritage here or anything, but you know, I'm just saying, on a scale of 1 to 10. You know, I'd probably give him about a 5.
The wrinkles on my forehead are starting to get bigger. Eyes drooping a little more.
And the Doberman says, you present yourself like you might know a little bit about knife making. You know, are you skilled? He's like, Cordell says, would I be talking to you about this? They came and got me specifically, and all of these dogs. If I wasn't, huh? And so they're gonna make a roll. They're gonna roll off. So I've got the Doberman and Cordell. Okay, so Doberman's like, he's like, all right, but there's one thing you're forgetting, little man, is I'm the one with the knives. You think you can get a better deal somewhere else? Go right ahead, because these babies will be gone within the hour. Cordell looks at you.
And I got the big wide eyes going, and the little tiny one nod.
His shoulders kind of slump down. And he's like, yeah, pay the man. All right, we'll take it. We'll take it all.
So, and I hand him.
And the Doberman's like, remember what we said? He looks at you and then he looks at Cordell. He's like, you didn't get these from me. Whatever you got planned for these things, I don't want it falling back on me. That's
and
it.
You didn't get these from us.
Right? He's like, he pushes it off his little counter there.
Yep.
And so there you go. So you've got a bandolier with 4 daggers.
4 daggers.
Yep.
That's interesting that he would be so like eager to make sure he's not connected to helping us.
We're doing
smuggle
something
these
illegal
things.
that everyone knows
I know,
about.
but it's almost like the legality transfers across the towns. Like, why would he care?
Well, there's a common,
some sort of like.
So it could come back. He knows that if he were to supply weapons, so they supply weapons in trade under the premise, good faith, that you guys are using these things to protect yourselves, which is completely admirable.
In town.
In town, not to necessarily become an army that could threaten Doberton.
Yeah,
No, I'm absolutely certain they keep their best stuff not only for a tactical advantage, but also to make their worst stuff not look so bad by comparison.
You could make that assumption, right? But you guys have acquired these 4 daggers, right? So you got 4 daggers, and also the premise under which it was presented is like, hey, we'll be set at the calling. So, he was pretty astute, being a salesman. Like,
I get it.
Yeah, I don't want to know what you're going to use them for, but I can't have it come back.
Riggs has no idea, but I get it. Thanks, Cordell.
So Cordell says,
head on back.
He's like, now that I scratched your back, you got to scratch mine. I need to find a couple more of those black suits, dude, and move this product.
I got it. You want me to go find them for you?
Yeah.
You got the charisma bonus.
I look at them and go, I'm going to need another sample.
Okay, but what I need you to do, I need you to just say this.
Okay.
Just say, hey, if you like what I got here, I got a guy, reputable guy, who's looking to move some weight.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I will walk
looking
him
to move
back.
some weight. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna mingle. Right? I'm getting a little hungry. I'm getting a little stressed out, a little hungry. Right? So, but he's all, you know where to find me. I'll be twisted. Right?
Wait, don't you want to go relieve Bishop?
Why? He's Bishop. So he's all, I'll be over here. I'm hungry. Okay? Right? So,
Shit to do.
all right. So meanwhile, while that's going on, the marketplace kind of ensues. The activity starts to bustle and things like that. So as the day goes on, right? You end up brokering a deal for Cordell where he gets to move product and things like that. Is there anything else specific that you guys are trying to do?
There's nothing else. There's nothing else that I knew of. I was trying to get a weapon advantage, so I got what I needed.
So Lucille, are you going to do anything that are you going to put yourself in a situation where you're going to present what you have to offer potentially, and then also Bishop, are you going to try and
mint leaves
for Bishop?
I don't have mint leaves.
You're kind of sitting on this stash of tripweed for like a while, and to the point where you start to become a little impatient, like, guys did this to me again, right? But eventually, Cordell and Riggs come along, and you're like, as soon as you see him get close, you just walk off. You're like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, and completely offended. But they move the product. And are you going to try and do anything to barter with your mint leaf?
Oh, I have mint leaf still?
Yeah, you only gave him half.
Oh, okay.
Did you? Yeah, you gave him half. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
you only gave half. You did half for half.
You've still got some. Yeah, you've still got some mint leaf. And
I'm gonna go look around and see what's around.
Okay. All right.
Like, I feel like we should get some food. I don't know.
Well, you've been fairly consistently eating.
No, I know, but we're gonna go out there. We're not gonna have anything to hunt with. We're not gonna have anything to fish with. We're gonna be gone for 3 days.
You don't get to take food with you. You know.
No,
that.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I say, like, we should eat and then go and not.
So I'm gonna
not leave hungry.
I'm gonna go.
We'll do something when he's done.
Oh, okay. So I want to go look to see if I can find wire, like
wire, like metal wire.
yes, very thin, hard to see wire.
Okay.
Like if they can make, I don't know the level of tech, so.
Well, I mean, so
I assume they can make something like that.
There's braided metal. I don't know they have the technology to necessarily make wire. There are garrotes that are made as weapons. One of the weapons they do make is a metal garrote, that you can use to strangle people with, and it's got a sharp edge on it. It's not as thin as a wire. It's more like a band, that's got handles,
I was looking for more like fishing line.
You can find the fishing line is made from, it's basically string.
Yeah.
It's got a certain tensile strength, but it's naturally wound string.
So yeah, I want to.
It's not like the synthetic stuff.
I want to see for that and hooks.
So you want to buy fishing supplies?
Yeah.
Oh, that's easy to find. Yeah. That's
Fishing
easy to find.
supplies, and then I don't know anything else of keen interest.
Okay. What you can do is you can take a look here. You can pretty much find all sorts of items. Here, I'll show you the equipment list, and you can tell me if they've got it or not, right? So there's martial weapons. Equipment, here we go.
Or even a flint and steel.
Yeah, I mean flint and steel. Yeah, you can definitely get flint and steel. I thought they had a list of equipment in here. All right, so you're able to. So with what you've got, you can. You know that you're not allowed. So it's common knowledge that the teams for the calling are sent up with the clothes they have on their back and nothing else. That is part of the trial.
Yeah.
So you're saying you want some fishing line and fishing hooks?
Either that or flint and steel.
Well, you can find both.
Yep.
You can find both. I'll even say that if you want to trade the remainder of your mint leaf, you can find 6 feet of fishing line and 2 hooks, and then a flint and a piece of steel.
Okay.
So you can write that down on your sheet. You've got that at your disposal. And then erase the mint leaf.
Yes.
And then Lucille, so how does your day look?
I'm going to do 2 things. So,
okay.
One, it's been just a little bit since I talked to the elder. I thought of another question for him, so I run towards him again.
Okay.
And I say, Elder, one question about the rules. It says that we can only take what's the clothes on our back. Is armor, is that a clothing? If that's all the clothes that we have?
No, just your clothes.
Just our clothes, but as long as they're clothes, we can take them with us, right?
As long as I think. Let me think about that. Yeah, I think yes. I think that would be appropriate. Clothes, yes.
Okay, as long as they're
like
clothes.
What you're wearing now, yeah, those.
Thank you, Elder, and then I run. So I want to go to the market.
All right.
And what I'm looking for is because now I have a set of parameters to work with. I'm looking for protective clothing.
Okay.
And I don't know whether that means like. So I imagine since they're more militaristic, they might have like leathery clothing or like something heavier that I might not even know what they have. But I'll look around and I'll be asking, do you know, excuse me, Mr. And do they all go by like the last name of Doberman? How do we address the people from Doberman?
Yeah, they're just sir. They're like you can refer to me as sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Remember they see the other breeds as beneath them, so they kind of are constantly like you could just call me sir.
Sir, I have a question for you. Do you sell, or do you know where I can find somebody who sells really good clothing or really strong clothing?
You can, and they point you over to 2 merchants that have all kinds of clothing hanging and things like that.
So I'll say thank you, sir, and then I run over to that one.
All right,
and then I'll go up to whoever's the purveyor.
All right, there's a red hair there. It's like, what can I do for you?
Hi, sir.
Actually, it's ma'am.
Oh, ma'am. Hi, ma'am. I'm very sorry. I'm sorry. I was distracted by all of your really cool clothing you have here. I'm looking for. So I'm gonna be going on the calling, and the rules say that we can only take the clothing off of our back, or on our backs. Do you have any like clothing that's stronger
or has built-in weaponry?
So.
That would fall into those parameters. I'm not trying to cheat, but I also don't want to die.
Well, I can tell you, I don't personally, and where I come from, we don't follow such foolhardy rituals like your calling, but we do respect the fact that that's how you live your lives. We were brought up in a much more efficient manner and taught how to fight and defend ourselves from the get-go. But with that said, I understand the needs of the few in a handicapped environment. I do have this clothing here that might suit, I think, what you're looking for. It's a little bit thicker on the wear, but it's clothing.
That would be good. I have some friends that are going. Do you have 4 of them by chance?
Well, what are their sizes? Do they look like you, Lassie?
Well, no. One of them's going to be for me, and then I'll describe the other ones. I would imagine.
Describe the other ones.
I don't know how.
Oh.
I'll describe the breed.
Like,
I don't like the
well,
size.
Bosley's really big in the midsection. Right? He's got a beer belly.
He's very
all right.
big.
Okay, so you describe to the best of your ability, right?
Yeah,
Okay, and she says, well, yeah, I think I can accommodate that.
I think
she said, well, let's talk about more important items. What do you have to trade him? It's a tall order.
Oh yeah, no, I know. Well, I have this really cool thing that I found. It sounded like it might be of interest to you all from Doberton. And where did I put? Oh, here it is. And I'll just kind of like pull it out and hold it in my 2 paws.
That's where we'll stop.
Oh.
Thank you for listening to another NCRP Productions podcast. To stay on top of everything we're doing, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and like us on Facebook, all at NCRP Productions. You can show your support and help us continue to produce content by joining our Patreon. We offer additional podcasts like our B-sides and have GM materials, maps, and other fun things you can discover over time. You can find our podcasts on YouTube, Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Google, and many other fine podcast sites. Just look for us at NCRP Productions. We value your thoughts, so please don't hesitate to leave us feedback or comments. And if you would like to contact us directly, you can email us at ncrpproductions@gmail.com.